on it.
Bugger, I forgot to do that. Sorry.
It's okay, I got it. We good.
I'm just trying to make you have as little work to do with my nonsense as possible. I hear myself echoing.
In all fairness, I mean, if it's just quick little go click a check mark, I don't mind as long as you don't, get needlessly antsy about it.
All right.
There we
Come
go.
on, click the check boxes, Ketna.
Now you have to fix my maps. I totally told you to fix, and I never actually told you to do.
You have to do things for me without me even saying it. You have to read my mind.
Well, naturally.
Well, reading my mind will be a really sad short story.
Almost ready.
Okay.
Well, we are live, to be clear.
Oh shit! Hi.
Hello.
Okay, I've got the audio set correctly.
Here comes the fucking tickle.
Excellent.
How the fuck
everybody.
did you
Go
change
ahead.
the token?
Oh, I need to set a few of you as test players. One moment.
Need to set what is what?
I need to set Zax as a trusted player so that way they can upload tokens and shit.
Speaking of which only one of you has very pretty art.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on mine. I literally have Clip Studio open with a Fox in it right the fuck now.
I simply used my best knowledge to get whatever I can that's not stealing.
Hey, I'm not poking. I'm only poking a little fun at you all. I'm not actually upset.
All right,
I know
now I
you're
have
not.
to change the
I just
character.
say, I'm just letting you know. I got this shit right the fuck now. Okay, should I just paint directly? I have to think about how I want to do this. I kind of do want to sketch some outlines just to give myself a general idea. Let's do that.
So, shall I introduce everything? Or do you guys need a moment?
Absolutely.
Is everyone okay?
I'm just finishing.
I can listen to that while you listen to you.
I'm just trying to figure out how to change the photo because I am a stupid little boy who needs help with stuff.
You're not
So
stupid.
go
Well, at least you decided.
open your character sheet and then click on the little hooded figure thing. And that will open up the tokenizer. If it's not doing that, please refresh
Yep,
because
it says image. It says image browser, user data, core data, the bazaar, and my assets library.
Yep, make sure, so at the very top, make sure modify is checked on both the left and right sides, and you're going to just be using upload from computer.
My assets library, upload from computer.
Anywho, as our scene begins, I apologize for the awkwardness of my explanations. I have gone over this a few times in my head.
Huh.
But
And this is cropped completely wrong. But it's fine. I will go with weird anime protagonist cropping instead of a face shot, which would just be slightly better. But instead, now we got this weird thing.
Don't mind me, I'm just Chapette for now.
all right.
Okay.
Oh, hey, by the way, I have now given you Etna the commission artist role.
Oh my
The
goodness.
commission art in where?
In the server.
Oh, I see. Well. Oh my god. Go ahead.
It basically means that we've verified you and you're ultra super legitsies.
You're legitsies.
There you go.
Yeah, don't listen to any of the random DMs. If you want a Twitch overlay thing, talk to me. Go ahead.
For two of the characters who are in this scene, two young sky squires have been brought rather suddenly before the Queen by their knight captain, told that they will be embarking on an important mission. Okay, my brain just stopped, so please forgive me for occasional this.
We forgive
Yeah.
you somewhat. Anyway,
There had been rumors abound all throughout the kingdom of the Ironlings, the ruling class of Enfields in the Great Vale Sky Islands, of a disappearance of an entire platoon of skilled knights in one of the other islands. And due to the lack of resources on certain parts, two young sky squires have been told today they will be embarking on an important mission alongside their captain and a special guest or two. So, as our scene begins, I'll put your tokens on the screen. The Sky Squire, Dayu is how your character's name's pronounced, correct?
Yep. Dayu.
The Sky Squires, Dayu and Ronblade, had been woken bright and early and somewhat loudly by the bright pink and multicolored bat captain in her full plate armor, getting them
Are we
up to
supposed
meet the queen.
to be
I'm
seeing
going.
the map yet?
Yes, I'm about to turn on the map.
Okay.
I just needed to put the
Please don't
characters who are on.
interrupt her. Keep going. I'm sorry, I know how difficult it is when people interrupt you while you're giving a speech.
Yes, I'm doing my best, everyone.
It's okay.
These would be feeling rather apprehensive as they are brought before not only one of the rulers, but the primary ruler, Queen Sirena, whom is impatiently and rather fierily pacing about as they arrive. The queen,
Go ahead. Sorry, I just realized there's a problem with the tokens. Go ahead.
what I do.
It's a me problem.
Okay. Told to stand at attention, the bright red and pink colored Enfield, giving off an aura of both authority and intimidation, would look over the duo. This is the very first time they have ever directly laid eyes on the queen. Her bright blue eyes, almost seeming to pierce into their souls as she looks between them, then to the bat-like captain. And I suppose, then, these two are your best you could pull together? The bat does not seem shaken, however, and nods in affirmative. Absolutely, your highness. These two may not look like much, but they have some of the best scores out of all the squires, and they've not let me down any training mission thus far. All right. Then you two, present yourselves and your names. First, you, she points at Dayu. Identify yourself and your trade. Basically your
Yeah.
combat style.
I see. Which she doesn't really let all. Or sorry, wow, they fuck me. It's because I originally had Dayu as female, but I changed that. Okay, anyways.
Also, both characters, roll a perception check.
Anyways, I already have to put a quarter in the misgender jar.
Get
For my
fucked.
own character.
Okay, so while Dayu is being addressed by the queen, they are unable to focus on a very subtle creature slowly making their way into the throne room from a side room. A silvery fox-like entity that silently slides in. Ron Blade is very vaguely aware of something, but they do not directly see what. Continue.
Okay, and I will say, well, Your Majesty, and my name would be Dayu, and I am a fencer, a bit of a dungeoneer as well.
I have heard you have a reputation of sorts. Apparently, you've left your knight captain with quite a few cuts and bruises, including a broken nose once. She speaks highly of your skill with the blade.
Well, when you're going into unknown territory, you cannot necessarily trust that anyone's going to follow the standard procedures, so I improvise.
She nods. Well, let's hope you can carry those improvisational skills into a full-on proper mission now. Then she turns her glance over to Ron. Next, you boy.
He does a deep bow. I am Ron Blade of Brockhall. I am a summoner and controller of the spirits of ancient warriors.
Yes, your knight captain did mention you were one of the odder squires. Apparently, your spirits can be quite chatty when they want to be. Is this so?
His eyes glow. In the spirit of his grandfather speaks. I, my queen, we do. When we are addressed by royalty, I certainly will speak with you. I am
Then
Brocktree the Great.
I've heard of your legends. You are a known figure to many of the Sky Knights. It is a pleasure. The rest of those spirits, identify yourselves.
His eyes glow a different color. 1 second. I have them all written down.
Take your time.
That's okay. His eyes glow red. I am Brand Forgehammer, brother of Brocktree, keeper of the forge and fire. It's a pleasure to meet you, my queen.
Likewise. So far you've managed to not make fools of yourself quite yet. She says that bit in a joking manner.
His eyes turn green. And I am Fennel Staghair, the Huntsmaster, stalker of darkened boughs.
Interesting. Quite the array of souls you have existing within you. Are there any more?
His eyes stop glowing. I have two more, my queen. His eyes turn purple. He takes a strange stance. I am Calypso the Spy Master. You generally do not see me, and if you do, well, it's already too late.
I do hope that isn't a threat. That would
It
be
would not be
quite.
a threat to you, but to whatever presence has snuck into this room. It turns in a general direction. Perhaps.
Ah. So one of my other guests have arrived. I'll address them in a moment, but know they are invited. And you will respect them, understood?
If it is thy wish, my queen. And finally, his eyes turn blue. I am Admiral Adrian of Wave Crash, of Vanguard of Roaring Waters.
Hmm. I've heard sky captains tell all of ancient tales of you. Interesting.
I hope the tales of my victories at sea were grand and glorious.
Grand, glorious, and often spoken at the end of a cup of mead. I'm sure you would approve.
Indeed.
Very well. Return your bearer to the front, so I might address him.
his eyes stop glowing and he seems to pause for a minute, collecting himself. You summoned me again?
Yes, yes, I have. What do you know of what you're going to be doing? I am curious what my knight captain has already told you.
I know that some men have gone missing, and you'd like us to help with the search.
Indeed, but I have a few more to introduce. First of all, she turns her eyes to the serpent who had snuck into the room. Everyone make another check. This one has been specific. It's just another perception check, and this one has been specifically requested. Either ways, for now, she turns to the odd furry serpent by her side.
I'm not
You see
allowed
the
to get
roll?
perception today.
Oh, Ron Blade got a pretty high perception check. And for that, rolled an 11. So,
I also have the scent ability, by the way, if that means anything for this particular perception check.
nope, not in this case.
Okay.
You have no idea if there's anything else amiss.
Mostly scent is just the ability to recognize creatures that you've already smelled before. Anyway, between the two of them, they will hear a loud yapping sound as the fox from earlier suddenly appears, having previously gone invisible to sneak up on them. In but a
I'll move you
moment,
where you would be.
a serpentine and vulpine creature, having scales in some places of her body and fur in others. The fur on her front is a snowy white, transitioning to silver and then gray. And on her chest, strange gem in the shape of a cloud. She is holding in one hand what appears to be a notebook, and in the other, a glowing lantern. The lantern itself seems as if it is caught and is holding on to electricity itself, luminous though it is. She seems to be holding on very tightly to the notebook. Besides that, you see the strange runes drawn on her body, or the strange sigils on her body.
Dear Aether, you've frightened my poor knight captain terribly. Though I must give you points for the entrance.
Well, certainly if I can frighten a knight, then I shall be striking fear into the hearts of your foes just as easily.
Well, I hope your striking of fear here is second only to your knowledge of legends. That is one of the reasons I have called you here.
Intriguing. So you're saying that this place is connected to legends of old, then?
Yes, and that is why I've had you brought what's between me and my two knights here. She gestures to Dayu and Ronblade. You'll be accompanying them, along with my expert, to the side of me. She gestures to the other serpent, a very surly looking creature. Almost like a large mongoose, but with the bodily shape of a snake, like rearing up on her tail.
Aether will
Covered
attack. Go ahead.
Hmm?
No, go ahead.
Covered in various mechanical devices, one of which seems to be some sort of monocle that focuses in on the party. She doesn't speak right now, or at least not in its words hurts that anyone but Aether can understand, and as a few hisses leave her. While they sound hostile, they are a greeting to a fellow kin of snakes.
Aether seems to have attached her lantern onto her belt, only to open her notebook and begin writing quickly everything as you are saying it.
The, the night captain speaks up. Now, ma'am, we are short a member or so I have a list of potentials, but she is interrupted by the queen raising her hand. No, I have one I've already seeked out. A young outsider who wishes to make themselves useful. And she would tap her foot, and in a burst of etheric energy, one more person would appear, likely confused as the fact they were dragged from their bedroom straight to here when they've been told to wait. That's for you, Zax. I decided to have a bit of fun with your entrance. If you're still there.
Right here. Yeah. Right. Ah.
Just so you know, your character just got teleported from their bedroom where they were told
Yeah.
to wait before the queen. The knight looks over at the strange-looking creature, raising an eyebrow. Truly,
What? What?
the queen would look at. Let me see your character's name. Casey. I told you you'd have some work, and here it will be. You'll be assisting two of my knights, their captain, and a pair of my experts on a task. Do the task well, and as promised, you shall be paid well, mercenary. Rhea, however,
Okay. I can do that. I can do that. We're all. I can do that. Yes,
You
yes,
seem-
Your Highness. Yes, Your Highness.
Aether will look at Casey. You seem nervous.
Yeah, you can put it that way.
this one,
Yeah.
the queen interrupts, clearing her throat. This one is a warper, whom fell into our castle. After
It was
putting
it was an awkward showing. Yeah.
I truly have never had someone be warped into my throne room and fall upon my dining table in such a way. But he seemed to have survived the fall, and I've had him put through his paces. He can at least hold his own as well as any of the younger squires, and I believe he'll be of assistance to you. The knight captain objects. With all of your due respect, your highness, a mercenary that I have never met, you're just going to assign to my team? Yes, I will, Lady Dame Scarea. Or do you have a problem with my judgment? The bat droops her ears and very quickly looks like she shrinks.
To be
No,
fair,
of
you
course
don't.
not.
Be fair, you don't exactly know us all that well anyway, so it kind of tracks.
I am at least aware of of the two squires. I've had some hand in training them, but good. Then you should have no problem assisting young Casey in catching up. And I can assure you, Aether is far from someone you need to train. Isn't that right, my dear?
Aether grins wildly, seeming to look up again from her notebook, which she seems to have finished writing in. Absolutely. I can handle almost anything that you throw at me. I'm eager to earn some glory.
I would just like to add that you never mentioned anything about training. You just said to wait for further instruct. You know what? I will do whatever you say, Your Highness. I will do what you say.
I
Consider
do
it like this.
believe that that's this is the instruction, is your training.
Consider it this way, Casey. The training will help you survive in this world you found yourself in rather unceremoniously. And should you do well, not only will you become one of my paid knights, once again, the captain looks like she wants to object, only to get a sharp glare from the queen, shutting her up. And you'll find yourself having a permanent home here. Either ways, if my beloved captain is done questioning my every decision, yes, Your Highness, I shall explain what you shall be doing. Or rather, she looks to the serpent. Would you like to take the floor? The serpent grunts. If I must. She approaches the group, looking them over for a moment. As your knight captain has likely explained to you, or at least a few of you, an entire group of your Sky Knights have gone missing of recent. They disappeared at an archaeological dig on the island of Skymire. Do you know what kind of land Skymire is? This is a generalized question, and she waits for an answer.
That would be a lore check, actually.
I will have Aethra.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with that. If it's known in as a part of the kingdom, it's a society check. If it
Okay,
is,
it's a society or a lore check, and you'll know different things based on it. So if you have either, roll it.
Oh,
Okay.
weren't you gonna give us a unique lore skill?
Yes,
Legends, right?
you have Legends lore, but that's just you. That's rather specific for a reason.
I'm just saying because it's not on our sheet and I can't add it.
Oh shit, my bad. I'll add it to you. For now, just roll a 1d20 plus 10 for the moment, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
Ronnie knows
apologize.
nothing.
Based on the roles of Dayu and Ronblade, they are only aware that the Skymire is, well, swamp in the sky. One of the more hostile lands that they have been warned by countless other knights never to go if you don't want to be washing the stink out of your armor
Give
for
me
the
a sec.
next 20 years.
Giving me trouble to. It's giving me a bit of trouble.
Alright, and I will add the thing to your sheet. I apologize to you.
Yeah,
actually
I've been
forgot.
having this trouble with the foundry a lot lately.
Ronnie sputters. I've heard nothing good of that place. I know it's a swamp and it's dangerous.
There you go.
I override that.
Nice.
That's better. Somebody knows something.
Wish I could override that number. I'll figure it out later.
All right, there you go.
Anyways,
You put modifiers.
alright. Either ways, Aether is aware that the Skymire is not only known as one of the most hostile lands, it is rumored to be a small section of the Feywilds, and that there is ancient ruins there that came from the lands below long ago. It's supposedly full of ancient traps and monsters of all kinds. It's quite the glorious place to fight and die, by many lores. I will also add some stuff in DMs for you, okay?
If I basically make it legendary, that's a +10, so we'll just go with that.
Alright. So that is what it's supposed to be. Again, I have reasons.
Aether will flip through her notebook until she eventually seems to settle on a page and then begins reading out the information on the Skymire. What that would be whatever you say.
I'm also gonna
Whatever you
add
say
something.
she knows.
I'm gonna add something in DM, so give me a second to type.
Why does it call me new actor 5?
Doesn't
Because
like
I
you.
haven't caught all of the cases, the token, a prototype token being incorrect.
Let me just generate a new one then. I cannot generate
No,
a new one.
no. So the problem is I need to do it over here, and then if I go to here and then do that, and then drop you back in, bam, it's fixed. Okay. And also for your viewing pleasure, I have my tablet up on Discord stream.
I apologize.
No, make Ketna apologize. She did
Why don't
something
I
wrong, she just doesn't know it yet.
Stuff added to your secret chat. Ugh.
I'm just saying, somewhere, someone, at some time, somehow, she did something wrong and is at fault for everything.
I see. Well, as I tend to do.
And the entire purpose of the game is figuring out what the fuck she fucked up. And then saying you fucked up and never letting her live it down.
Either ways, you can add what I sent to you in DMs out loud, or just have it
I'll
be
read
something
it.
in your
Let me see.
I hope I wrote that decently. I'm feeling when your DM is the least confident person in the party.
Of note about the Skymire, there is some kind of like ancient champion, a great treasure in the depths of the ruins. Many legendary heroes of old met their end there, including the first king and queen, Ironwing. Honestly, I've been thinking so much about how amazing it would be to find that treasure or do something there, because, like, imagine the legends that they would make about me.
So you're gonna have me learn by going to somewhere that killed some of the most skilled warriors this land has seen.
I mean, if you die, you die. That's just the life of an adventurer.
The serpent would give
I
hate
didn't
to-
choose this life. You understand that, right?
Would you prefer
Oh,
No, no, don't. Look, I wouldn't prefer anything else. I would prefer to not have ended up here, but now that I am here, I have to deal with it.
Then stop interrupting me so I might finish. Yes.
honestly, she's more likely to kill you than the Skymire if you keep fucking up.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry. I will stay quiet.
Good, because if you interrupt me once more, I shall sew your mouth shut. Pluff, calm yourself, says the queen, in a calm but very sharp tone. The serpent flicks her tongue. We shall be going to the dig site, but not into the ruins themselves. Our last communications did not imply they had gone into the depths. I would not take a group so green into such a place.
I was wondering about that. If we were to go to a place where much higher ranks than us had mysteriously vanished, we are a bit green as far as the rankings go.
We shall be going as a reinforcement group, as 2 other units have already been detached. Our job shall be to secure the ruins, ensure no one else invades while the higher ranked knights investigate the depths as far as they can. We are also to meet with the locals and question them on the whereabouts of our missing knights. A small dragon-like robot unfolds from its backpack form off of the serpent's back, which opens up a fairly large map of what looks to be a complicated hidden ruin, almost like a damned maze. We have made several incursions into these ruins before, but they only seem to go further and further down. So we will only be there for a short time to see if there is anything left to find. 3 days in, 3 days out. Simple, yes?
I
Ronnie
mean,
stands up
sure.
tall.
We're aiming a bit low, but honestly, even that much will get rumors spread about me at least.
Between chuckles. Well, if it's building your legend you're worried about, imagine this. You will be one of the freshest just to ever step foot in those ruins. And you will already be known as brave haven adventurous for even setting foot in the Sky Mire. That is a land and rife with conflict. The locals are not overly friendly to us. While they do fall under the purview of our kingdom, they do not willingly bow, if that is understood.
What if these locals are uncooperative then?
Officially, back away. But if you're attacked, defend yourselves.
Dayu will then fiddle around with taking off the emblem of the academy. Or of course, we could potentially be a little more discreet with those ones.
They have a disdain for outsiders greater than they do for us us of the Iron Wings. So
Ah,
do so at your own risk. Some might be
understood.
more willing to speak, others maybe not so much. Our serpent friend here, she gestures to Pluff, is in fact one of the locals. So I'm hoping her presence will help. The serpent just grunts. It shall not. If anything, they shall just see me as a traitor, as many of my kin do for even signing on onto your service, your highness.
Aethra just twirls her pen, seeming to be musing aloud. Well, honestly, I'm not really interested in getting into battles with people who won't contribute to my legend, so I don't really intend to start any fights. With them, anyway.
Just do remember, dear Aether, every battle can contribute to your legend in some way. Either ways, I do not
That's
intend
true. I should find their strongest. She goes back to writing in her notebook, eyes alight with inspiration.
Queen simply shakes her head. You're
Ronnie,
ever
sta-
incorrigible. Go ahead.
Ronnie stands up tall, his eyes glow red. See, this one's at least got the right idea. We'll go there in 3 days' time, we'll make a name for ourselves, and we'll be back in the tavern drinking about our story. He gives them a hearty pat on the back.
Aether
Probably
just
messing up whatever they were writing.
Aether just grins, seeming to not be affected by the pat, but enjoying it nonetheless. Honestly, I've always wondered what it would be like to hear a bard sing my own song. I wonder if I'll be embarrassed.
Either ways, before I dismiss you, I have a few things to provide to you. First of all, Ronblade, Dayu, you two who are ones who have the most experience with airships, as you've had basic training in them. So, you two will be sharing joint captainship of the ship that I will be providing you. One of the kingdom's newer cutters. The ship is, for all intents and purposes, in your ownership. Though you will be flying our colors and you will be expected to behave as such. Your captain will be only coming along to observe and to step in should things go awry. This is very much a mission to test your capabilities.
Ronnie's eyes glow blue and he salutes. I'll keep an eye on them. Admiral Wavecrash hasn't lost a ship in 200 years, and it's not going to start now.
You know, I have to admit, being able to fit so many different people into one person is so much more cost efficient to feed. I commend you.
I'm glad you can find the good in that. I'm glad.
I'm just laughing. That's
Ronnie
way too
turns.
meta of a joke.
Ronnie turns. Well, it can be a little exhausting, but they at least are able to provide me with some tips.
Also, everyone make a reflex save as the queen taps her staff to the ground. Also, I shall be providing you with a stipend of gold to purchase supplies. Let me see the rolls.
I rolled so low.
You just get clubbed in the face with a sock full of quarters.
Wait, I have questions.
Yes?
Okay, so I see. Zax, make sure you click on the reflex button in your character sheet. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
It probably should have been. We'll go with 24, but just so you.
Either ways, Zax is the only one to catch the bag of 1,000 gold, while everyone else gets clonked on the head for 1 damage. The bag
Damn.
seemingly to materialize out of nowhere.
Just because I was too lower. Unfortunate.
Oof.
Oh, did I misread your roll?
Mine is 22 total.
Ah, okay, then Zax and Dayu. Ron especially gets smacked on the head with the fairly hefty bag. And it bops Aether on the head and kind of rolls down on her back towards her tail.
So as Dayu catches it, they will just do a little bow.
Now, before you leave, I would like to see one thing, if you don't mind humoring me. Oh, Your Highness, you're not going to. She gives the bat once again a glare, and Skareya hides behind Aether. I would like each of you to take a swing at me. I will not dodge. I just wish to test your capabilities.
I have to admit, I was pretty sure that gone batty meant being crazy, but apparently bats can also run to achieve that.
You'd be surprised, my dear captain. Either ways, which of you first?
Ron steps forward. I guess it shall be me. He
All right.
He reaches for his belt, dropping a set of weights attached by a chain, and swings it around in a circle. Where's my attacks? There it is.
Just roll your damage. She's not going to be avoiding it.
Okay. Well, good, because that was a shitty roll.
The
Nine
blow
damage.
lands. The blow lands on the queen, whom isn't really moved, but she does raise an eyebrow. Oh, and seemingly smile. Good. I'm glad to see you follow orders without question. Next.
Aethra will approach. Why is it not moving?
Why is it? Oh, somehow the game is paused.
Oh yeah.
How did
Then
that?
paused.
Instead of her weapon, she will give a punch. What? Well, I see.
Just roll damage. Like I said, she's not dodging. She just wants to experience your might.
Oh wait, that's just a Foxfire hit. Hang on a sec.
Yeah.
How does
This
your
is
Foxfire
not
do electric
formatted right.
damage?
Foxfire can do electric damage.
I thought it can only do fire or cold, but maybe I'm mistaken.
So 5 damage. Fuck me.
The punch, again, doesn't really shake the queen, but it does make her fur poof up. Ah, I see you've been keeping up with your practice, Miss Aether. Very good.
He'll take a few steps back.
Next, you. She points at Casey. You. Give me your best.
You're incredibly quiet.
I don't even hear you.
Oh, sorry. There. Is that better?
Yeah.
I walk up to the queen and I take an awkward fighting stance and I lock my eyes into the upper left leg, and I try and make out the muscles, and I aim a kick right in between the thigh muscles to make it as painful as possible.
Roll your attack and damage. And for what you're trying to do, I would also like you to roll athletics. I'm going to treat that as trying to trip them over.
Yeah, that was also part of it. Unarmored attack.
Yep.
And that would.
Just click the damage to roll your damage.
And then where do I find the
It's in your skills.
Under proficiencies in your character sheet.
proficiencies there. Athletics.
Mhm.
Decent roll.
The firmness of the blow does surprise the queen, who does not fall, but she does stagger. Good. I had a good feeling about you, boy. All right.
I make a very slight bow with my head and take my 2 steps back.
And last, you, Udayu.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Is the queen considered off guard right now?
Yes. Because she is not
Excellent.
she is not preventing any attacks from hitting her, it can count as off guard.
Okay, give me a second. Okay. And with a swift motion, Dayu will pull out their rapier and go for a strike. Which this will get an additional 1d6 due to the off guard setup, doing 10 damage total.
The blade pierces straight into her fur, and almost makes an exit wound, but the queen doesn't even flinch. She just smiles with a increasingly a wicked grin. Good. You all can follow orders. She looks to Pluff. What do you think? The serpent
no.
just sticks.
You
I
check the
saw-
M's?
The answer, so you don't have that item, but also, because the specific, all those are going to be doing is allowing you access to property runes, because the +1 and the other stuff is done through automatic bonus progression.
I thought it's 2d4.
I don't know.
Is there something wrong?
I thought the hand wraps of Mighty Blow switch it to 2d4 instead of just 1d4.
I see. Okay.
Let me look it up for my.
Yeah,
two.
it does. It does say that, but the item wasn't added to your thing. That's why.
I see.
If you want, you can re-roll your damage as the proper numbers.
My damage dealt is based on my dexterity, right?
No strength.
EG.
I thought unarmed can do strength or
No.
defense.
So all damage 2e, when done with a melee hit, will always get its bonus from strength. That is to prevent dex from becoming a god stat.
The only exception is Thief Rogue.
That's odd, but okay.
Because Thief Rogue specifically has an ability that lets them use dex to damage.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Random.
I think this is the correct number. I might be wrong. Oh, there we go.
So, I'm
What's the
going-
one
I
to six?
rolled 2.
Sorry.
I'll just retroactively say that the blow was much harder and shook the queen much more.
Second. Sorry. There it is. Okay. But where does the 1d6 come from?
Foxfire. I can add that to my unarmed strikes.
Oh, I see.
So all of that is lightning damage as well.
The queen is, by the way, extremely poofy, and her very poofy dress is even more so when you're shocked. She only seems rather pleased by the display. I trust, Pluff, you'll have no problem with your team, then? She just hisses grumpily. They're satisfactory. She looks to the group. We'll be setting out in a few hours. Do whatever preparation is required. And she'd sulk out of the room for the moment. Her little robotic dragon companion following. Soraya looks immediately more relieved with the serpent like mongoose out of the room. That woman always terrifies me. My good captain, you're a skilled war priest and more seasoned than her in battle, yet she frightens you? Well, your highness, she is also big enough to eat me entirely, so, yeah. Prey instincts. Are you not a vampire, Bat? That's irrelevant.
You know, some people would pay good money for that service.
Don't question it, my dear Captain, and please don't traumatize your teacher again. I thought we said we wouldn't discuss that, Your Highness. We're not discussing it. I'm simply saying not to do it again.
Calypso just chuckles. I'm sorry, sometimes my pranks go a little overboard.
Well, try to keep your pranks to a minimum while on a skyship. I do not want to have a report of one of you falling overboard due to some sort of incident with banana peels or the like. Either ways, I would recommend you take some time, head into town to do some shopping and get to know one another. I shall meet you at the docks. That's when it's time for you to depart. And with that, the Queen taps her staff, and just as quickly, she vanishes as well. Right, I can do this correctly and not fuck up the things. Nope, I always gotta do something slightly silly. There. Either way, that leaves the party together to talk, and we'll move scene in a little bit.
Well,
Y'all
this
good? Oops, sorry.
well, this will be an interesting first assignment, don't you think?
Yeah.
I guess interesting is a word you can use to describe it. I would put myself as shaking and quivering as better verbs.
The task itself isn't quite that entertaining. It's just talking to a bunch of locals. But at the very least, we're getting paid, so who am I to complain?
I got to electrify a queen's fur. Honestly, it's pretty good to get things off my bucket list.
That was actually pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a little embarrassing for her, I would say. I mean, just having that happen in front of a lot of people.
Oh, Queen doesn't mind. She seems more happy to see that you lot are competent. Hell, you even managed to impress that grumpy old serpent. She hasn't been impressed by anything since she arrived here. Complains the bat-like knight, crossing her arms in frustration.
And it's been a while since I've gotten to take the old meteor hammer off my belt.
Either way, before we head out, you two lot should have a moment to introduce yourselves to one another properly. I shall be at the gates when you're ready to move on. Saraya kind of power walks off, looking like she has a headache. Something that Dayu and Ronblade would be very familiar with her getting quite often, especially when dealing with the Queen.
Cap looks pretty mad.
Did I do something?
No, it's usually the queen that does that to them.
Okay.
Aethra
Felt
just
bad
puts
for a
her
second.
Aethra just puts her pencil onto her ear and starts flipping through her notebook. I wouldn't worry too much about it. They set themselves up to experience our abilities and hopefully be inspired and filled with confidence. That is to say, they got what they were hoping for.
Speaking of getting what we're hoping for, this is my first time with a budget, so you're gonna have to guide me through what to get and what to stay away from here, because I am pretty much new to your system here.
I can help you with that. I have a whole head full of adventurers.
Okay.
Daiyu will just say, well, you do kind of look like an elf without the pointy ears, which is kind of strange.
What species are you anyway?
Isn't that more of a second date question? Which isn't
Okay,
to say I'm not curious.
I'll answer as best as I can. So where I come from, we call it human. It's a descendant of apes, bipedal, just like you. But I guess you could say that we are similar to elves. However, we were much more focused on technology rather than magic. Where I come from, we didn't even really have that much magic. I guess you can call some things magic, but it's confusing. I will try to stay away from that.
You look like
Anyway,
I've got to say, that
taller-
is some of the most boring lore I've ever heard. Go on.
You look like a taller, thinner version of the ancient dwarves from my great grandfather's journals.
Scrawnier, too.
so doing some research with the mild amount of books in that huge library, I found that yes, I want to say I am a distant relative of that. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Okay.
If you're wondering how I ended up here, I made a bad wish and said I'd rather be anywhere than where I am right now, and didn't specify that it was the same just universe.
Well, at least you didn't end up in a volcano. Those exist where you're from, right?
Yes. Except I don't know if any are still active. No, there are. Yeah,
Okay,
there are.
so here's my advice to you. Since you're, fledgling adventurer and all that, what you need to do is establish early on that you came here from another world. I imagine that there's going to be this entire genre of fiction about that after you if you get famous. And you just need to
Goodness.
and just
Go on.
be
Oh,
careful
I
about
know
how
what
you
you're
tell your
talking
story
about.
because you could be great at this.
I will just add that from what I know about those stories, I don't want them being written about me.
Wait, why not?
At least from where I come from, they have a negative connotation.
Wait, why would they
Well,
be
yeah,
negative? You get into like a high magic world and you're capable of doing all these nifty things like cast spells and who wouldn't want that?
The authors of those books are known for being, uh, you know what? I will refrain from going into otherworldly psychology. We'll just say that, you know what? If people want to make those sorts of things, I'll let them.
Wait, your world shuns its bards?
Not in the past, but I guess traditional bards are shunned, yes.
Well, I'm glad that you're not in such a shitty place anymore.
I look at Aethra with a questioning look and just say thank you.
I could
She
not
pat
imagine a
she'll pat Casey on the back. Listen, what you need to understand is fuck that place.
Hey, all I know is that they have really comfortable beds back where I'm from, okay?
I bet we have better bets.
The beds are quite comfortable here as well, actually.
Well, yeah, but we
Well,
don't
you've
know how
never tried my
comfortable their
beds.
beds are.
Roll
You've never-
perception.
That's fair.
You've never tried. I'm the only comparison. I'm the only one that can make the comparison.
Okay,
Do we
so
notice the person walking in the room?
so part of our quest is we need to find an epic bed. It could be an adventure. Like someone has to have made the greatest, softest, most comfortablest bed ever.
For what it's
Oh,
worth,
Ronnie definitely notices them.
for
Oh,
what
let
it's
me
worth,
see.
I've noticed that my tails are actually a little bit better than the beds, so you could try one of try my tail.
Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually.
Of course, my low roll
Ouch.
streak is entering this game too.
Well, it's gotta
Zach,
happen eventually.
Did you
Go
roll
ahead.
perception, Zach?
No, I'm still doing my best to look for where to roll that.
Left side of your sheet on the first page.
Left side, first page.
Is a roll for perception.
I'm trying my best.
Take your time. There's no rush.
There's a lot of rush.
But is there
Perception
any
would be
E?
perception would be under.
So if you are on the first page, which would be character. Well, actually,
Yes.
any of the pages. Sorry, any of the pages. All the way on the left, you'll see you'll see armor class, perception, initiative, saves, and where you see perception, you just click on the.
Oh, perception there.
Yeah.
Perception
Yeah.
check. Roll.
Honestly, I have always wanted tails that just have numbers written on them.
Ron Blade
It
is
would be the
only one who-
coolest for design.
Ron Blade is the only one who notices or hears the little mechanical dragon again that was on Clef's back walk back into the room, just watching them.
I believe
Anyway.
we have an audience.
What do you mean? I turn to face the little dude. I'll just call him little dude, I guess.
The little dragon has moved very close to Casey and is looking directly in their face.
I crouch down. I crouch down and I look at it with like a aw type of face, just and reach my hand out, and before going to pet it, I put my hand back beside my side and stand back up. You know, if this thing wasn't so, what's the word?
Robotic, says the dragon.
Yeah, that's the word. If this thing wasn't so robotic, I would have treated it like any other pet, but
You will
Aether
then come over and join Aether in petting the dragon.
Aether will just go over and pet the dragon. What do you mean? Mechanical pets are the best. They love you so much when you give them electricity.
yeah, and you're the one who can give them electricity. I have none of that.
Oh.
I-
She
You
just
turned
looks
over
at
your socks
she
on the
just looks
carpet?
at you with the word she just gives you the most pitying gaze that you have ever seen cross a face. I am so sorry for you. She actually almost seems like she might cry.
The
That
little
actually
mechanic-
must be the worst thing imaginable.
If it wasn't for the fact that I know you are very skilled, I would give you a nice firm slap.
Well, don't let that stop you. It'd be certainly entertaining to watch you two fight in the Queen's throne room, or at least in the Queen's foyer.
I will not. I have made my fair share of mistakes in this castle.
Well, you know, the last person who slapped me ended up calling me a live wire before he needed to go to the hospital.
I'd prefer not to go to the hospital, thank you very much.
I will protect you, my weak friend.
Hey, don't call me weak. I can hold my own.
Oh, right, I forgot. It's only okay when you do that to pets because they can't understand you.
Am I going to be treated like a pet this entire time?
The little robot dragon clears its throat. Ahem. Pardon? I came over to y'all for a reason.
I turn back towards the dragon and I say, "Okay, what do you need? Do you need anything? Do you
Wait.
want food, attention? What's going on here? What do you want?"
Wait, is it that you want electricity? I could do that.
No, I am already fully charged, thank you. Actually, while my lady did not want to admit it, my lady being the grumpy snake who slithered off, she forgot to pick up a number of things. So she's asked if you would escort me into town so I can pick up some of the supplies she'll need. She's a little bit too grumpy and too prideful to admit she made a mistake.
Oh, of course, of course.
Ron offers his shoulder.
Aether just holds two fingers somewhat separated from each other, creating a lightning-like effect, and then wonders aloud. I wonder if anyone's designed a weapon that does something like this.
And I look back at Aethra with a wickening grin before saying, "Not here, they haven't."
The little dragon wanders over to Ron Blade and climbs up on their shoulder.
Wait,
Thanks.
so where you come from, you have devices that just shock people?
Yes.
I want to visit.
And they are easily accessible, surprisingly, for even the common person.
Her eyes just light up with joy. I want to visit this place now.
See?
After all, it requires
See,
a
it's not
support.
just the beds. It's not just the beds, people. It's not just the beds.
You know, we have electrical magic weapons that you could just use. They're not even that expensive.
Fine, thanks for ruining all my parade, for hyping up my own homeworld.
To be
The
fair,
rail will
if you ever need help raining on someone's parade, I can provide the lightning.
I don't
provide
need
the
your
rain.
pity. I
Anyway,
I
we should-
give like a sigh, and it's just like I don't need pity. I can rain on someone's parade myself. Thank you very much.
Ron starts to head out the door. Well, we should probably head into town.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
Alright, are you ready to change scenes?
Yep.
Alright. Oh boy. Let's hope
I have officially become the isekai side character.
Side character, you're a main character, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Either way,
But I
We're just
can't
not
say
being
the main
harem in this
character.
harem anime.
no, not the main character, but a main character.
A main character. Okay.
Either ways, led by the very grumpy captain, the party will make their ways over the meadows and through the woods, but not to grandmother's house they go. What the heck? I didn't mean to pick up the entire party.
Oh, hey, they're
Give me a
little kobolds.
Oh my god, are they going to explode?
Please?
no.
God damn it. Personally, since electricity is flammable, I think that shocking them should make them explode.
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you that you have a problem with that? That's what we really need to be asking here.
I mean, if you really want fire, I can summon a volcano under them.
Okay then. Either ways, the party would arrive through a large steam-powered gate to the first port city. The city of Ironwall stands as a sprawling, if not somewhat rustic, metropolis of sorts. One of the very first places as those coming off of airships from different towns would see, they are greeted to the sight of many departing and arriving skyships of all sizes, from massive Zeppelin-like transports to small cutters and galleons, filling the air. The town is abuzz with numerous people going about their business, shopping, trading, and other such things. There are even a few other Sky Knights patrolling the city, though they seem entirely wrapped up in what they're doing, and do not give the party much attention. "All right," says the captain. "We're here to visit some of the shops and get whatever supplies you need. This will also be a good chance for those of you unfamiliar with the city to learn the layout. Dayu, who you and Ron have been with me to this city a few times, though since our time here was fairly short, just the time to do a simple patrol, every so often, I imagine you don't have the greatest lay of the city yet yourselves, correct?"
No, ma'am. Sir, I'm
Well,
sorry.
It's ma'am.
Ma'am. Okay.
Well, I haven't exactly gone snooping around in every corner and checking out all the alleyways and stuff like that. So, from that perspective, no.
And for you, Casey, this would be your first time in the city. Hey, correct?
First time in any city here.
Well, just stick close.
Don't worry, I won't go wandering off.
The first place we're going to visit is going to be a magic shop of sorts. So, follow along. The captain still seems rather grumpy after earlier. Approaching the first large building, which has a towering green roof and is shaped like a sort of squat mage's tower. I don't have images for all the characters, so you're gonna have to deal with some of my descriptions, okay?
Oh
That's
no.
cool.
No, I'm gonna suffer in misery and pain because I can't see every single thing.
Falls over and dies.
It does feel like that sometimes.
Either
But you
way,
can use the arrow keys. That's cool.
Back in my day, we used our imagination. And this stick I found. Anyway.
Back in my day, we punched the shit out of people who said that we used that tried to pressure us into using our imagination.
Back in my day, I was here. Back in my day wasn't that long ago.
either ways, the building, while looking like a squat hut version of a mage's tower, has a odd sign on it that looks like the mouth of a snake, called the Magic Coil, which Saray will take a deep breath and head inside, looking like she is not looking forward to it.
Aether will
Inside,
greet the snake. Hello, fellow reptilian.
inside,
I
Heidi,
do a silent facepalm in the back.
please don't interrupt me. Sorry, or am I not coming through again?
You're
You're
coming
coming
through.
through.
Alright.
They're just being rude.
Inside, the party would find themselves surrounded by many a shelf of magical items, seeming to stretch for miles in either direction, despite entering a building that was not particularly large. Sitting at a desk wrapped in thick green robes is a large black Yuan-ti, or Lami, snake woman, whom is blowing green smoke out of a pipe as the party enters, offering a playful hiss as they approach.
I wonder if I
Ah,
get a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
if you want to forget what?
You could go ahead if you want. It could wait.
Are you sure? I'm curious.
Aether will just say, I wonder, if I got a pipe, would I be able to blow electricity through it?
The snake hisses in amusement. Perhaps you'll be able to, Mon. Greetings and welcome. Come to me lovely shop. How are ya? And I see the Queen's lovely knight captain has graced me with her appearance again.
Out of curiosity, sorry, given given this character's typical lore, would any legends happen to mention them?
Yes. I will roll your legends lore so I know what to tell you, but I will tell you stuff in DMs before I continue the scene, okay?
Okay. Here we go.
Let's see. Okay. Let me write it out.
So many of my rolls are under 10.
Don't worry, you get a competence bonus on some of these.
Oh, I forgot to add my river lore for the Vanguard Rolling Waters. Not that that counts here, but
Alright, I added quite a bit to. I sent you quite a bit, so. Yeah.
Tama, I'm hesitating. I need to destroy myself tomorrow morning. Just kidding.
Let's get the bag of cats.
Right?
Into the bag you go. Oh, you know what would help?
What?
Hang on.
Oh lord, what are you up to?
It's okay, Katna. I completely understand your desire to not ever have artwork of your hyperfixation. Honestly, I really hope that we never get to see her or her fox form.
First and foremost, this is a they them.
Them. You know, if the misgender jar gets big enough, we can use it to afford a Midjourney subscription.
uh,
One
question: does this
hundred and
place
20 misgenderings had to happen for this, but it was worth it.
I heard someone have a question.
does this place sell like potion supplies and herbs?
You'll have to ask her in character. Just waiting. Because
Yeah,
there was a.
give me 1 second. I'm still reading.
See, the problem I have right now is marble foxes. They have these patterns, like they'll go down the back but I'm not looking at the back right now, so I have to come up with things that look interesting on the front.
Okay. She Aethra's jaw will drop. Oh my god. You're the legendary thief Plague. I have always, well, ever since I read about you, wanted to buy something from you. I didn't know what you'd be selling if we ever met, so I really, really need to check your inventory. But I am really hoping to not only cross that item off my bucket list, but to ask you how you became legendary, because I really, 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 really want to do the same.
Well,
He stares
now,
up innocently and affectionately.
it'd be rare to find someone who knows of me legend. Shouldn't be, well, full of adoration instead of trepidation, like a knight captain there. I wasn't aware you were a legendary thief. How much of this stuff was stolen? On Serpent.
Oh
Okay.
no! She
Acer?
doesn't steal things from this world.
Just so you know, Acer would know that what the tone that Skrea took was a really dumb thing to do. That'd be a oh shit moment.
Aether would just poke Skyria. You realize snakes eat bats, right? Like, I don't personally, but
She wouldn't dare to, and Plague is not there. She is behind. She has moved behind the bat without anyone seeing. I wouldn't be daring to do what now, little morsel? I'd be consuming souls greater than yours, or as for a light snap. So don't be walking into my realm and throwing attitude around. Understand? The bat is entirely frozen with fear. Literally, she cannot move.
Technically speaking, if she ends up consuming all of our souls, then there's no witnesses to the crime. Ergo, gets off scot-free.
The rest of you seem to have better heads on you.
Oh,
So then,
I'm just saying, if you wanted to get away with it, because dear Captain here was thought that surely you would not try anything because you would get caught.
finally, someone who recognizes my ambition to one day be written about for the absolute mark of genius that it is. Aether will just see it with stars in her eyes.
what can old Plague be getting for you? I have all sorts of wondrous things. I have magical weapons and armor and potions and foodstuffs. I have stuff I don't even be knowing what they do anymore. Some of it's been here so long I think it might be older than a few instances of me.
Sorry, I'll be right back. Moment. Keep going.
Okay.
Alright, 5-minute break.
Oh, damn.
Oh, you got
Anyways.
anything?
Hello?
Oh, in response to all of that, Dayu would just say, well, I know this might be a little bit above my rank to ask for, but you wouldn't have to have sleeves of holding, would you?
I be having many things. But can you be paying for it? Tell me a bit
Certainly.
about... Not with your money. I be having plenty of gold. Tell me about yourself, child.
Um,
If I be giving you something so valuable, Or letting you get what your queen probably wouldn't be letting you have already. Who are ya? What would you do to make its use interesting?
Dayu will just slide up really close to Plague, and with an adorable look in their eyes, and say, "Do you know how much alchemist fire I could store in those?"
The serpent's eyes light up. I already be liking you lot. She hisses very gleefully. Well, what about the rest of you lot? Do you all just be quiet as mice?
Hey. I spoke in the past and it wasn't a good idea, so I'm not gonna speak unless I know it's safe.
Don't worry, boy. I only be scaring the captain because she not be knowing how to be respectful in someone else's house. You look
Alright.
like you know how to be polite.
Alright, I'm back.
Well, thank
I'm
you very
sorry, that
much.
was
I
so
still do
trippy.
not.
Someone apparently ordered a pizza to some place in a different state under my phone number, and I do not recognize the name.
What?
That's interesting. I like it.
Oh yeah, and they're also not at the address.
Okay, someone really went out of their way to prank call a pizza joint.
They do
Yeah?
it all the time, actually. I had to deal with approximately one a month. Anyways,
Anyway, what did I miss?
Dayu making a case for why High Plague should let them purchase something above what the queen would allow them to, convincing them with how much alchemist fire they could put up sleeves of holding. Yes, so the party knows you can convince Plague to sell you things that she shouldn't have yet.
being fair, the sleeves are actually only one level higher.
I know, but this is fun, and I like seeing what kind of craziness you all can do.
Yeah.
And I've already seen what happens when I gave you all firebomb.
Oh, you should see
Specifically,
what.
two of you.
If I ever go back and clip the whole thing from this one particular encounter, although it took us so many tries, because eventually I ran out of ammunition. But you should have seen how many fucking zombies I killed by throwing alchemist fire everywhere.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no. Oh jeez.
Well, now I know what I'm throwing at you.
Oh,
Just remember, ships are flammable.
Tons of zombies.
oh, I see. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Either ways, continuing the scene.
Aether will just look up at Plague. Honestly, I have no idea what to ask for besides she shows her hand wraps. I really want to be stronger and punch things better.
I might be having a thing or two for that. So, you be knowing about me? Tell me about you. You have an heir to ya. One of a spirit I'd not be feeling since one of the very first gods I helped ascend. She looks very closely at Aether. Ah, I see. How curious. Well, tell me, who are ya? She says, taking a drag on her pipe.
Aether will check that to confirm that they close the door behind them before offering up. Well,
Like waves her hand on the door, not only closes, but vanishes.
well, I don't really talk much about this, but you are a legend. So, when I was young, I was raised by my parents. They were a kitsune and a gonzi. And when they put me to bed at night, they would read to me all sorts of stories from both of their worlds, of all of the different ancestors that I have had, that I am descended from. They would tell me stories of great thieves, of tricksters who aspired to play the greatest prank, of a woman who took on far too much for herself, but managed to pull off the greatest revenge ever after serving under a demon. And listening to all those stories, I thought to myself, what if one day my own story generated such an incredible legend to it that it was being told to put kids to sleep, that help give them dreams of great knights slaying evil monsters. And ever since that, I have wanted to have a legend of myself to share and have passed down. Plus, I really like to shock things.
Ah, you remind me a lot of a few of the souls who I've helped, who made bargains and kept their end, and became legends in their own right. Surprisingly, both unselfish and selfish goal. Interesting. You said your name was Aether, correct?
Aethra,
Aethra.
yeah.
Aethra. I be remembering your name. Perhaps I be helping you more, or as you continue to make your own legend grow. And maybe an old snake be helping you grow it.
One of the places that my parents had heard tale of had this element. It was sort of like the sky, but divine. A version of sky for the gods themselves. And because my parents hoped that I would reach ever higher, they gave me that name.
Like I be saying, I be remembering your name. The serpent turns back to Casey. Now, you're worried about speaking up lest it get you in trouble. Unless you don't know how to be using basic manners like your captain, you'd be fine. You don't smell of this land. You don't smell of this reality. You are a soul very much out of place, aren't you?
Yeah, you can say that again. You're asking for backgrounds on everyone. I will give you my summary. Essentially, I was walking back one day and got into a verbal disagreement with a bunch of people. I guess that's a nice way to put it. I would rather say I was almost mugged. But I made a wish that I guess most people would make at some point in their life, and it was to be anywhere but right there at the time. And so I ended up not being there anymore, but I made the mistake of not specifying that I'd like to stay in the same reality, so I ended up here. So now I have to deal with the consequences.
She hisses curiously. Ah, yes, the night captain complained about someone falling in on the queen's banquet, smashing her table, and launching an entire tray of food into the queen's face. You apparently started quite the legendary food fight, did you not?
Thank you very much, but creating legends is not one of my goals here. That's for someone else.
Well,
I give a nice stare to Aethra.
She just puffs
well,
up her chest happily.
well, you certainly be making a good impression with the queen. She came by after that incident and she couldn't stop laughing. She may seem taciturn, but she's taken a shine to you, boy.
Well, thank you very much. I guess the only thing I will request is simply a way of ranged combat. I suppose that you don't have any crossbows available?
I'd be having quite a lot of weapons of sorts. I'll be seeing if I can find something that suits you. Crossbows, hmm?
You do have those here, right?
She nods. Yes. Though a few of them might be cursed, a few of them might be sentient. I'm almost sure one of them used to be a person who was turned into a crossbow, but I lost track of that one. I got tired of hearing them screaming all the time.
Have you ever considered a silencer?
I did.
Me personally, no.
Though, I do feel another interesting thing. She looks over at Ronblade. Ah, that's what I be feeling. A few familiar souls, including one that's kept themselves quiet till now.
Ronnie's eyes glow a pale, pale yellow. Is that an old serpent I hear? It's been a long time, Plague.
Indeed it has. And it seems you found yourself in an interesting house, now haven't you?
Ah, my great nephew, yes. His tale is quite sad. He
I
got
be
the gift
aware.
from he got the gift from his mother, and I've been trying to teach him how to use it.
Hmm.
I mostly keep quiet because the others are, well, quite brash. But
Perhaps you should be introducing yourself to your friends. Such as they are, they will be helping your young protege.
yes, he takes a step back. She bows. I am Titania of the Whispering Meadow, an old druid, and Ronnie's great aunt on his mother's side.
And
It's
one
a
of the
pleasure to
few
meet you all.
sorry.
Go
And one
ahead.
of the few who came to me respectfully for a few things across their lifetimes. A few of the souls don't know how to speak to an old serpent properly, but this one did.
You always had the best herb collection.
I interrupt and give a very loud stare towards Ronblade. Herb.
Did you need something, boy?
I've never
You
heard
are
it pronounced like that. Where
her
I
what,
come
Plague?
from, I pronounce it herb. There's no H in that.
Sorry, checking something. Oh, okay.
Also, because Plague moved a little too quickly, let me see who's in the area. Dayu and sorry, I have to read your name. Casey. I'm sorry, I keep having forgetting.
It's
Roll
okay.
a reflex save because her large tail takes up a lot of the room. So if she spins too quickly, she actually trips people over.
Reflex save.
Just because that's a really high roll, I would like to roll an additional roll here.
Sure, go ahead.
Damn.
Wait, what's being rolled?
Oh well.
Reflex because Plague turned too quickly and might have tripped over Dayu and Casey.
Oh, I want to see if I can make
Reflex
this.
is what save? Oh yeah, here.
Which is to say, I want to fall flat on my face like every reflex save is going to make for me.
All right, roll. You
Give me
can
a
roll the
sec.
reflex then.
Oh, I
Alright.
rolled. I did.
No, I was talking to
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's actually a decent
nice.
one.
So, both Rathana and Dayu managed to easily jump over it, and because you rolled a 11 acrobatics, Dayu does so a little awkwardly, which you can describe.
Aether, by the way, not Rathana. It's Tama fainting, by
Sorry.
the way.
I am sorry. I am sorry. Ugh. I'm keeping track of so many things. I'm sorry, Tama.
You're okay.
Rathan tends to talk like this when being in character. Anyways.
Aether and Dayu managed to deftly, if not a little bit awkwardly on Dayu's part, avoid the tail, but Casey is not quite so lucky, as when they try to jump, the thick tail ends up catching their legs and sending the poor lad not only spiraling out of control, but into a entire thing of potions, all of which you fall.
Oh no.
Several hit Casey, and Plague yells, hit the deck! As several go flying, launching into the air in all sorts of directions.
Do the rest of us need to roll reflex
Yeah.
saves?
Everyone roll a reflex save. Saraya can't because she is so petrified with fear, she can't run, so the party sees her get hit by several potions. Okay. You see.
I thought I rolled mine. I guess not.
Oh, you did. This is for a different one because there are now potions shooting everywhere. So, I'm going to. So, sadly, Lee Casey is completely unable to avoid the firing potions, several of which shoot up and then fall straight back down onto them. Dayu barely manages to avoid a few, though they get their backside scorched for 2 damage by a misfiring Lesser Alchemist fire. Let me see. Aethera dodges any of the worst potions, but she does get hit and frozen by a freeze potion for a few seconds. Even Plague fails to avoid some potions, since as a few hit her straight in the face and turn her bright pink. Ronblade manages to avoid most of the potions, only having a smoke bomb go off in his face. And Skrea got hit by so many potions, she has vanished for the moment. She's just gone. There's no sign that she got burnt to death. She just vanished.
Titania grabs her sides in a fit of laughter, coughing and laughing as the smoke bomb engulfs her.
Aethra will
I
just
missed.
Aethra will just high five Dayu.
Dayu return the high five. And for reference, Dayu definitely dodged, but failed to catch her eye on Plague's tail. That's what the acrobatics was for.
Fair enough. Like I said, all thing that happened to you two is from the extra potions is just of like 1 point of frost and 1 point of fire damage from misfiring various combat potions.
What happens to me? Should I be scared?
Yes.
For the moment, Casey is absolutely covered in a almost rubber-like covering of potions. There are so many going on all at once that it's impossible to tell what is happening to him. Plague slowly picks herself up, chuckling. It'd be a while since I had one of those catastrophes. Sorry about that, Patmon. Didn't mean to launch you.
The boy was too busy correcting my pronunciations of words to look out for your tail. Titania still chuckling. She says, sorry, you'll have to forgive me. Common is not my first language. I was only a second generation of dwarves when we came in.
Yes, but while you may not be speaking common the best of anyone, Well, you know not to be rude and correct people about something so trivial. Plague slithers over to check on poor Casey, whom is still covered in the potions and would be struggling to move right now.
I let out a couple of just trying to make as much noise as I can without opening my mouth.
Plague just shakes her head. I can't even be beginning to understand how many things you just got covered in.
Mineral spirits would be the best to clean him off if you can find them.
I think he's going to need a bit more than mineral spirits for whatever those potion effects are going to have. I think we're going to need an exorcism at this point.
It looks like whatever it was, it got mixed in with a Tanglefoot bag.
Plague begins removing some of the magic items that got stuck on poor Casey.
You know, I
But
once heard of an incredible bag that can turn you into a cat.
I think I'd be having one of those. I'd be using it once when I visited a certain air elemental's plane and went to a ball. Had to.
Well, you know, well, I guess this place doesn't have room, so. When in Skymire, do as the Skymyrans do.
Either ways, the odd concoction mixed up on poor Casey begins to glow, and Plague goes wide-eyed, and once again tells everyone to get the hell down, and even hides in her own coils, as the mixture not so much explodes as much as releases a nasty blast of gunk in all directions. However, what is left is slowly taking on a human appearance.
I'm sorry, my audio's broken. Can we hold on a second?
Ah, sure.
Something's up. Up, there we go. We're good. We're good. My headphones died for a second.
There we
You
go.
can hear now? Everything good?
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear.
Alright. As the extra gunk from the mixture that had covered poor Casey got shot off in all directions, thankfully not hitting anyone this time, the majority of it begins taking on a strange form. A dark blue and black serpent-like creature, or something akin to it, which Plague sees and already starts to know what hit poor Casey, leading her to cover her face with her claws. I'm sorry, I'm stammering so much. Ah!
You're fine. You're doing great.
You know, I can only imagine what a game would be like based on what just happened to you. They should make one.
My fucking god.
You're welcome.
Either ways, it's because I'm lazy and don't feel like describing all this shit. Where once stood a human, now stood a feminine-looking, almost mechanical creature, whom will have very crossed-out eyes for the moment, or rather, sort of screens on their face that have their eyes crossed out due to getting also apparently hit by several items, which have left some rather unpleasant bumps on their head. This creature also seems to be, for the moment, unconscious, and twitching occasionally until someone wakes them up.
Aether will zap them.
Dai will just clap and say, "See, I knew they would need an exorcist."
for a
Wait.
mechanic.
Wait, so you're saying they got the humanity exercised out of them?
That's a fair point.
Also, if you want to shock them, you make a either melee attack to poke them or a ranged attack to throw a ball of lightning at them.
Melee is good. Um, Wait, that's not the right thing. Oh, here, I click on... Which of these buttons do I click on the strikes tab?
I think it's the one that's the full
It's the
damage.
fox. Oh yeah, just roll the first strike and then roll damage, or just roll damage because they're unconscious.
God damn it.
That was a wasted crit. Anyway.
Oh, fuck me.
Well,
Well,
roll
roll
the
critical.
damage. Oh my goodness.
Actually, that would be
Oh no.
there we go. That would be a 7.
So,
Taking damage? Or, so.
Shock, yeah.
Casey, or whatever this creature is, would be awoken with a sudden jolt of a finger poking and giving them one hell of a joy buzzer.
Oh, we're calling it a joy buzzer now.
See, I knew it. She was just low on power. Aether proclaims proudly.
You still there, Zax?
Did we lose them again?
Hold on while I figure this out. Throws up a be right back sign that she does not have.
Technically, we have a be right back sign.
Alright. Outline done.
God. Chat's been trying to make an infinite cat glitch.
Oh, hey, it's Eli. Hi, Eli.
What about infinite cat glitch?
We put a bag of cats inside of a bag of cats.
Hi, is everything okay?
We were just waiting for you because you've just been jolted awake with a lot of electricity.
Oh. 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 Oh.
By the way, you're messing with voice mod, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to set this up.
Did you remember to switch your microphone in voice mod to the actual voice mod mic
That's what I just did.
on Discord?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, it is time to teach you how to do voice acting.
Really?
You know what?
Did this work now?
Yep.
Okay.
You're having a little bit. You have a little bit too much space in there. It's making
Yeah,
you
is there a way
reverb a little
to
too much.
is there a way to turn down the distortion level?
Yeah, it's adjustable. I know what they're using.
Yeah, I can turn it
Okay.
down. Is that better?
A
I
little.
can hear you better.
I would still turn it down a little bit more.
Is that good? Or should I
Yeah,
turn
that's
down the
perfect.
space too?
Sorry, what was that?
Oh no, this is bad.
You know what? I'm just not even gonna play with that. I'm gonna have to teach myself to do voice acting.
Right?
That is what Kenton offered.
You can help.
I'll
Aether
mess
will
with that later.
just say, "Hi, you were super low charge." Someone's echoing.
Is that me? Am I echoing?
I don't know. Hi, you were super low charge, and I fixed you. Feel free to write songs about me.
Is everything okay?
Yeah,
Well, right now you
you're a
seem to be
robot
a
now.
robotic. Yeah, you're a robotic lizard folk.
I look
Dragon
down
folk.
and
Anyways.
I jump back into the wall with the splattered stuff.
One
You
thing
really shouldn't
And
risk hitting your head.
jump.
We don't know how your physiology has been altered. You could still have a
If it-
brain.
If you be knocking down any more of my potions, since you'd be paying for it, Mon. The first mess up was on me. He complains to Serpent.
Uh,
Oh, I don't suppose in your world you didn't have polymorphs.
no, we didn't.
Ah, so that's why this is so surprising to you.
Unfortunately, that not be so easy to fix. Your friend be hit with some of me best as potions of true polymorph, as well as some of my some potions filled with my own blood.
So
You
he killed
know,
me.
legend tells of an incredible spell that would be capable of undoing all of this that happened to you.
Where is it? I need
You
it.
have to make a wish, and then the wish can like warp reality. But also it usually fucks you over.
I not
But
be
hey, you don't
selling
like
your wish.
mechanical pets.
I have my share of experiences with wishes.
Well, a wish got you into this, so 2 wishes will fix it. They cancel each other out, probably.
That
Aether
not be
gives
how
2
it
thumbs
works.
up.
I continue to stay silent and pretty much just absolute confusion and wonder at the same time.
Well, you certainly be looking better by my standards. In a
That's
Dai will just go
scary laugh.
over. Dai will just go over and pet Zax. And now I've pet 2 robots today. What an exciting day.
I already
A little-
gave them a really enthusiastic pet.
The dragon robot would call over. Now can you give me pets? Are you... Now that you're a machine too? Who is it cool? Well, then not...
I take a quick second and I just sigh and just go, sure. And give a nice and quick pet.
The dragon looks rather pleased. Unfortunately, that not be something I can be fixin'. Quite frankly, the way those potions be mixin', even casting some dispelling magic on you to try and undo it, might be doing you more damage than good.
Well, as was suggested, there's always the wish spell, as dangerous as it is.
I not be selling you a wish spell.
I'm
Not
not
yet.
I'm not messing with that right now.
Well, to be
Well,
fair,
it's not-
that's actually a really good thing that you're not selling it to us, because that means that we have to go on an incredibly dangerous, life-risking adventure, and that means that we'll get all kinds of glory. I've heard so many tales of incredible adventures. You got a wish at the end. So, if a wish is at the end of my journey, that means this has to be epic.
I be liking your attitude.
And plus, there's also the fact that the greater wish is, a ritual. Anyways,
Perhaps we should take our journey one step at a time. Ronnie finally comes back to himself.
No, it's like stairs. You have to jump down 5 at once.
Can we go back up the stairs?
No, we're. Oh, I don't know what direction we're going in, but probably no.
Well,
I
no,
think we're going parallel.
we're jumping down 5 stairs from our apartment, and now we're taking a walk in the park. Now let's get going.
Either ways, you not be buying nothing yet, and no, your friend getting drenched in potions not be counting.
Well, I guess
To
the
make
question
up
is, go ahead.
to make up for the predicament my tail landed you in, Mon, I be at least getting you that crossbow you wanted. Free of charge. For your troubles.
That sounds horrible. Why would you want anything free of charge? Making things electrically charged is what makes them good and desirable.
Like, lightly taps Ethera on the head with her not her cane, her pipe. You'd be a clever one, don't you?
She just grins.
She slithers
Uh,
behind. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say in response, Idayu finally throws an electrical foxfire at Aethra.
See, you are lightning. Go, draw lightning markings. Do it, you fucking coward. You won't.
Like, just sighs and slithers behind her counter. And from behind her counter, she also picks up a statue of the Knight Captain, who is completely petrified and shrunk. I'll be fixing her before I send you off. Just wanted you to know she didn't get blown into oblivion.
Good
Just
idea. Good idea.
To be fair,
Just
I wouldn't
became
be worried about her getting blown into oblivion. I'd be worried about her getting her soul stolen. Well, not worried, more really, really interested in hoping I get the chance to see it, but, you know.
Idayu will look them over and say, right, instead of being blown into oblivion, just became a tiny little statue.
Admittedly, that is the way less interesting thing, although I hear some people are into it.
She pokes the statue on the head, which begins to move. The tiny bat statue looking around in confusion. Huh? What's going on? Huh? Why are you huge? I not be huge, man. You be tiny.
To be fair, this is just her appearing as she actually is relative to you. You should really remember it.
Idayu will walk over to the captain and say, well, we could do some interesting things about now, couldn't we?
I'm terrified by what you mean by interesting.
Well, to be fair, you aren't in a position to really enforce the law, and um,
Well, no,
well,
I'm not talking
actually,
like that. Remember, they're the one who's been my tutelage this entire time, every whip and all of that.
wait, that's right. Hey, have you ever heard of electrostimulation? She
I'm not sure that would.
grins.
I'm not so sure that'd be working on a little statue. Plague taps the tiny animated bat statue with her pipe, knocking them over.
You're right. We need to dispel the stone skin, but keep the tiny. I really want to be supportive for my friend, who also avoided your tail.
If you don't,
We bonded in that moment.
Dayu, if you don't undo this, help get this undone, I'm going to.
What do you think?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. They'll just say, what? You think I'm an alchemical adept like Plague here?
If you don't be shutting up, I'd be turning you back into inanimate stone. Either way, she taps her. I keep calling it a cane. It's not a cane. Pipe on the counter, and a fairly large, heavy crossbow lands nearby. That be one of the things you asked for. Remind me again what each of you wanted.
Ronnie, who's been mumbling to himself for a few minutes, walks up to the counter with this list of equipment that he would like. And if possible, I would like a bag of holding to put this all in.
Bag of holding is a level 4 item as well. But Dio says, just claps and says, sleeves of storage.
So a bag of holding and sleeves of storage. Well, normally, as I be mentioning, the queen not like it when I sell you above the items she approves. But she looks over at Ron Blade. For TT, I'll make an exception. Consider it.
Aether just thinks aloud. You know, with sleeves of holding, I could hold all sorts of things I could use for pranks. Also lockpicks.
Do you be wanting this set too?
You know what? Sure. Sounds really interesting, and I don't know if there are any items that really magnify magnify Foxfire.
Out of character, what's the difference between a bag of holding and sleeves of holding?
One
well,
of them
a
may
bag
you
of hold-
wear.
The difference is, I think, the ease of fetching things, but let me check.
Well, the sleeves of
Um,
holding are obviously way more fashionable, to be fair.
Right? You can add or remove an item from a sleeve with a single hand free as an interact action. Let me check bag of holding. Okay, so with bag of holding, you have to actually I think it's the same amount of action as just removing something from backpack, where storage, you can use one action point to remove something. Anyways.
Plague waves. Here's her pipe. I keep wanting to call it a cane. And not only does a small bag of holding appear, the two sleeves appear. She also takes the list from Ron Blade. She takes a drag on her. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, most of it is mundane equipment, adventuring gear. There is one odd item, which is a what was it? Aerial cloak and a set of tracker's goggles.
Plague takes a moment to look over the list, takes a drag on her pipe, and then seems to breathe a burst of blue and green fire over the list, which burns it to dust. But that dust coalesces in her claws. She claps her paws together, and a large bag with all the requested items falls right next to Ron Blade.
Ron Blade puts the required coins on the counter and thank you.
Plague holds up her hand. No charge for this. You'd be paying with entertainment, and for someone like me, that'd be far more valuable than some paltry coins.
I'm pretty sure we'll be paying you through other means as well, though.
You've already paid me quite the tale of a group of fresh new adventurers coming through my door. One who knew much more about me than I expected.
It's
And
more to say
several.
that I can't imagine that we're not going to end up working for you at some point.
She hisses playfully, leans over. Now that would be telling, wouldn't it, Mon?
Telling's half the fun.
Well, how about I be giving you a little bit of advice then?
Sure.
She spins her pipe and taps the bat statue on the head, whom poofs back into Cyrea in the middle of the room, looking dizzy. Outside Hide Me store, at the tavern not too far, a group of ruffians are making trouble. If you want to start building your legend, I'd be going and seeing about that.
Excellent. I bet that the store owners will tell of our stories.
I can assure you the tavern owner who's being harassed will certainly appreciate it. Now then, if you have the sleeves, those supplies, and the bag will be free, but if you be wanting anything else, you be paying. So, is there
And the
anything?
crossbow.
And the crossbow. Sorry. So, be there anything else you're wanting?
This is where Dayu's eyes light up again. So, about that alchemist fire.
How many?
They then hold up all 10 fingers.
That be enough for you? You be having enough fingers for how much you be wanting, Mon?
For now, I'll get more later.
All right. Be handing over the coins for it, and you be having it.
Which they do. Let's see, I just have to click on my token somewhere over here, right? Yeah. I go to consumables. Alchemist. Wow, that's not alchemist fire. What the fuck? There it is.
Remember, there are different levels of it.
There are. Am I even... No, oh, I can get moderate alchemist fire. Fuck. Let's
Yep.
go.
Like I said, I've already experienced what happens when I give you fire bombs. I'm absolutely terrified.
So Aethra will go up to Plague and reveal a page of her journal. And written in a strange language that the others might not recognize, but is native to the Ganzi.
Plague quirks an eyebrow. You definitely do be an interesting one. She, by the way, taps her pipe on the coins, which vanish and are replaced with the alchemist fire in a bag. Just because laying out a whole bunch of vials of alchemist fire is just asking for one to fall over.
Right? At this, Dayu will actually just squeak a little bit, very happily.
And with the words falling over, Casey will take a few steps back.
Bit of stuff chat going on, so hold one moment.
Anyway, that is what's written on the page. Feel free to read into Aethra any number of different ways from what she has written in her book.
Uh-oh.
I really, really hope you appreciate the reference that's going on here.
Plague takes a very long drag on her pipe, letting off a very thick plume of steam that actually seems to fill the entire building with a almost acrid green smoke. It's not harmful or choking, but for those familiar with certain Ganzi traits, this is a sign of them thinking very deeply, especially powerful ones.
Also, I hope you know that like the Plague absolutely does know a certain one of her ancestors.
May I roll an intelligence check here?
In this, it would be probably Arcana.
Alright, I will roll an Arcana.
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 Let me see what you be rolling. You are vaguely aware of the spell being used around you is some form of fog cloud, but a very modified version of it. You can also vaguely tell there is divine and demonic magic flowing through it. You'd be asking, you know what you'd be suggesting, right, child?
I am absolutely up for that kind of challenge. No risk, no reward.
She then puts aside her pipe and looks Aethera over for a moment. All right, Mon. Let us be forming a contract then. But understand, I'll be having more for you to do than whatever the Queen be asking of you. I ain't be throwing you to the dogs, but I be making sure that you be earning what you ask.
You know my heart's desire. As long as this gives me a better chance at earning that and doesn't get in the way, I'll take it.
Get in the way, no. I shall be giving you many chances, however. In many ways. Put your arm out.
She offers her arm.
Before anyone in the party can react, Plague, moving faster than the eye can see, bites into Aetheria's arm, but she does not feel pain. She doesn't wince, nor will she be made to flinch. Reflecting the resolve of someone who would make a deal with the metaphorical and potentially actual devil, leaving a strange new fang-shaped mark that wraps around Aetheria's arm. Then the contract be set, and I be granting your request. And I be
Excellent.
giving you, but I also be giving you an extra task. But I be giving this to you alone. When next you dream, that's when we shall meet, and I be telling you what you be doing.
Well, I have to admit, this is one of the more creative ways someone's wished me sweet dreams.
Dream always of the serpent watching you. She then relaxes in her coils. Anyone else be having anything they need? Otherwise, I be tiring of ya. And I be tiring of the glare how the night captain be giving me.
Just so you know, if you're ever interested in shock therapy,
And if you ever find a way to undo this,
You might not be wanting to throw that away so quick. While an accident, it may prove to be more helpful to you.
who the fuck wants human skin?
Either ways, if that be all, can you give us the door back, serpent? Etheria would also know that. Well, that was again very rude. And Plague looks. No, she can feel that Plague is annoyed. And once again, Plague is gone, and the party would hear a very loud thud as the Knight Captain is buckled over with most of her armor buckled in from a punch. Let me be making something very clear to you, big-eared one. I be having a deal with your queen, and your position as a Knight Captain don't be protecting you from me. The very next time you don't be using my name and not be speaking with respect, you not be leaving this place alive.
You
And your
know,
little god
go ahead.
your little god will not protect ya from me. Go ahead.
Not to speak out of turn, but you really should be wary. If you ever speak the name of someone greater enough than you, it is said that your throat is destined to grow hoarse from the act, that the very weight of such a name is going to overwhelm you. Always be wary of invoking the name of others too lightly.
The Dragonling then approaches Plague. Hey, Miss Plague? Ah, you'll be one of me daughter's toys. Yep. She hands over a list. She forgot all these things again. What will I be doing with that child? I'd be having them sent to her. And given the situation, I imagine you'll be working with me, wayward offspring. A very grumpy-looking furry snake. Woof.
Woof.
Yeah, we can hear you.
She asked the party a question.
Sorry, what were
Oh,
you
I see.
asking?
She asked if they knew Pluff, her wayward child.
Oh. Oh, so they're your child. That tracks, honestly.
That honestly explains a lot.
Yes, that one be one of my direct offspring. And one of me most recent.
Well, yes, we are working with them. They to escort us and be one of the experts at our expedition.
Experts, if that's what she be being called now. Ha!
That is correct. I don't make the rules; the queen does.
Well, the queen be putting more faith in her abilities than I be. I think your friend there, she gestures to Etheria, would be far more expert on what you'd be dealing with. For the moment, Saraya, instead of saying anything, just kind of hobbles over to where the door would be, only for it to appear and open just in time for her to try and lean on it and fall out. Either ways, off with ya. Old Plague be taking up too much of your time, and there be trouble outside brewing.
Dayu will think for a moment and say, given all the tricks you've been playing on Saria here, I think I'm gonna have to start coming to you for tutelage.
Well, if you be open-minded to learn, this old snake wouldn't mind teaching you a trick or two.
See,
Excellent.
we do think alike. I knew that you were the great mind of this party besides me.
They will just laugh. Say, look, the best way for me to learn is to keep getting pranked until I figure out how to prank back, or even escape a prank.
And
That
next
sounds
time
like
you'd be
someone. Oh, go ahead.
and next time you'd be showing up, leave your pet captain at home if she don't know how to behave.
Very well.
Be fair,
I
I
will,
prefer mechanical pets anyway.
I will request a bit of alone time next time.
Anytime on. Till next time, however, she takes a deep breath, has an inhale of her pipe, blows a thick cloud of the smoke, and everyone finds themselves once again outside.
Well, that was unsettling. Ron turns to the captain. You really need to not anger that one. Auntie T said she once saw him turn someone into a frog or once saw her turn someone into a frog and then petrify them just because they annoyed them slightly.
I feel like a snake should eat them if they've already turned them into a frog. Must not have been hungry that day.
I turn towards the party and I just go, so how long does this last?
Well, apparently
Until we get the wish
indefinitely.
spell.
If it was actually true polymorph, you're stuck like that indefinitely.
Well, to
Also-
be fair, if we kill you, we could always reincarnate you, but you never know what you're gonna end up as, so it may take a few tries.
Dai will clap and say, we could always use your incarnation to make them a fellow kitsune.
That's true!
By the way,
Okay, so hear me out. If you really want to be a human, just turn yourself into a kitsune. Then you could be three things. You could be a fox, you could be a kitsune, and you could be a human. And you could change between the three of them. It's like being a human, except not shit.
Can I go home now?
I don't think you can really go. Well, I guess you do have a home here, correct, Mountain?
No, I don't.
Oh, well then no, you can't go home. Sorry.
Well, to be fair, we could get them a home or rent a place at the inn and then send them there and then watch their disappointment as that's not what they wanted. And yet again, they have failed to wish for the object of their desire.
Either
I'll
way,
listen to his comms.
how much time do we still have?
7 minutes.
All right.
What do you mean 7 minutes? You have to go?
It's almost 11 o'clock. I could probably stay up another hour if y'all really want to keep going.
Well,
I
I
do.
can't stay up till 1. It's not in my schedule.
and is it almost 1 now for you?
No, it's almost midnight. I can probably stay up another half hour.
All right. We'll go for another half hour, then disperse. Everyone roll perception.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Yay! Back to low rolls.
You had your one crit, your one chance.
Blew it on an unconscious person.
Well, everyone but Athera, who is hearing some faint whisperings from Plague in her head, hear a good bit of screaming and glass breaking somewhere here to the east. Yeah. Wait, is it? I'm sorry, my cardinal directions are all scrambled.
It's
Aether
east.
will just think out loud to herself, you know what? I really am glad for how peaceful the city is right now. It just sounds so very peaceful, like nothing at all is going wrong.
It sounds like a bar fight's going on around the corner.
Peaceful, she gives a thumbs up.
So, do you go investigate? Regardless of the
Captain,
party.
where-
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, Captain, we should probably go check that out.
Indeed. Move out.
Wait, that's right. Bar fights are how a lot of different stories end up starting, and then the adventurers get whisked off onto the most amazing quest ever. We need to do something about this.
Either ways, I'll move some of the other party members over just to make it easier on everyone.
Okay. Okay, Tama. I just want you to look at the stream. I did it. I did the symbol. Enjoy it.
Good kitty.
Either ways, the party would arrive. Stop multi.
I'll give you so many of you those head pats you're completely addicted to for this.
I am live though.
The party would arrive in time to see a group of kobolds, armed kobolds, in fact, throwing objects at a tavern. The tavern, named the Riverway, seems to have a group of 5 or 6 kobolds causing trouble that they can see. And inside, a silver half-dragon is punching out another one.
Dayu will respond to this by waving their hand, and suddenly a small log drops on one of the kobolds.
Okay, roll hit. And,
this
and
is-
stick which one you're attacking.
Similarly, Aethra will use captivating charm on you know what? The middle one.
Alright.
Make them roll will save.
Okay. Makes like this one.
For whatever reason, Elemental Blast doesn't want to work correctly.
Did you activate your gate?
Oh, right. Okay, give me a second. There we go. Okay, now I have it. Anyways, so just so you know though, this was spawned directly above one of their heads, so it is there's no direct way to know exactly where it came from unless they were watching.
Okay.
Anyways,
So
The one
they so I believe they've crit failed. I don't think there's anything from that though. They are fascinated by me. They're compelled to focus their attention on me, distracting them from everything else that's going on. They take a -2 status penalty to perception and skill checks, and they can't use actions with the concentrate trait unless they or the intended consequences are related to the subject of your fascination.
And you rolled an 18. That does hit, so roll your damage die.
okay. And we'll say it was dropped on the one in the middle.
The same one that just got assassinated?
No, shoot an aim at the one that got targeted.
What's
Because
that?
her thing is second. I'll
Okay.
just fascinate one of the ones in this one. There we go.
So the one in the middle is, well, the kobolds are making some strange demands in a language that no one really understands except Ronblade, who would understand their pestering and being very rowdy towards this owner for some sort of candy-flavored mead. One becomes entirely fascinated and turns away from the rest of the group to look at Aethera, while the other is the one in the middle who's making the demands, is walloped by a log. Log staggers.
At this, Ronblade unsheaths his weapon, but instead of attacking, he sweeps it low at the kobold on the left. I'm gonna make an athletics check to see if I can trip them. Look up how to do tripping again. So, what is their reflex DC?
I believe it's a reflex save, I think.
No, I roll an athletics check against their reflex DC, so it's 10 plus their reflex modifier.
Oh, okay. Let me check. It is 12.
Okay, so the weight seems to go past the kobold at first, and then he flicks his wrist and it wraps around their ankle and he tugs, and the kobold falls flat on its face.
This does, however, inform the rest of the group that you're attacking them. So, the one who got hit by a log turns and curses at the party in a squeaky voice. Oi! What the hell you think you're doing?
Before combat, I would just like to have, well, just give me a second before combat, whatever they're doing.
Okay. Wait, right now this one is just threatening you.
Okay.
Out of character, we're the Sky Knights, right? That's what they're called?
Yes, Sky Knights.
The Sky Knights do not take kindly to you harassing shop owners in town. He speaks in Draconic.
Does anyone have anything to add before I have them respond?
Dayu, let's just say, personally, I was just curious what the hubbub was. 18 to deception.
Well, they believe that Ronblade is a Sky Knight, but do not believe that Dayu might just be a local who stuck their nose into things, because they're not particularly bright. Why didn't that value update?
If all the kobolds are paying attention to the party, I will roll. Aethra will try to intimidate them. And what she says is, you know, I don't know much about nature, but do you think that maybe kobold scales could be offered to an alchemist to make some kind of magical potions? I really wanted to learn how to skin a kobold alive for a longer time.
This only seems to anger the kobolds. You rolled a 10, unfortunately.
I know, fuck me, it would have been so good.
Who turned their attention from the bar owner to the party. What was that?
Okay, see you, Zach.
Oh, Zach have to go. Alright. Before combat starts, I need a 4-minute break. I need to use the bathroom and figure out how to actually start that, okay? So, take a moment, go hydrate.
Fuck me, that was one of the best lines I have ever written. It's super fucking intimidating, and I get I'm so destroyed inside. I'm incredibly distraught. My world is misery. A 7.
Hey, Ketna, how do I upload a picture to put in my token and stuff.
So make sure that when you are on the tokenizer and you hit the upload button, well, actually, it should just let you upload directly to the tokenizer thing.
That would have been so amazing if she just terrified the shit out of all of them and forced them to run away. I'm so disappointed.
There we go. Choose file.
I write such amazing lines, all for the dice to just be shit. I should have Kentna roll for me.
I will make a better
Yeah.
image.
According
Go
to
ahead.
my notes, while I have a slightly higher, above average roll rate as far as things go, unfortunately,
No, you just have to believe. You're doing this for me. You're wonderful, loving, familiar. You can enchant the die for me.
it's harder to enchant digital dice than real dice. I hope you
Okay,
understand.
you try it. Do it,
You
coward.
want you want me to roll your fucking intimidate check?
Yeah,
Okay.
I bet
Well,
you I'm right.
Maybe you just need Ketna to blow on your screen before you roll.
See? Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Seems I returned at an interesting time.
See, this is what happens if she rolls the die for me.
Oh,
She gets
if you want to be
10
intimidating.
higher.
Okay, I need to point something out, by the way. You have 2 skills that you can still train.
Oh,
Would you like
fuck
to train
me.
intimidation? Would you like to make that a major part of your character is intimidation?
I mean, yeah.
There you go. See, now we can say that your check roll was actually a 14.
Intimidation and stealth are the ones that she would train.
Okay.
Well, I'll count that as a 14 since he just didn't have it trained and had skills untrained. While it does not scare them out of fighting, it does, however, cause all of them to seem a little bit shaken and afraid.
If it's a successful intimidation, they get the demoralized status, which is frightened 1.
Can I add that to an entire group of enemies?
Maybe. Let's find the fuck out. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it's alphabetical. Okay.
You should also add the prone condition to one of them.
I
It
read.
Okay, so all the sorry.
I read so many. Also, don't forget one of them is fascinated.
Yeah, this one who's moving to the side. They are fascinated.
Yeah.
And as long as they are not attacked, they will not attack. Anyways, roll initiative. Can I highlight you all and just roll all your initiatives?
No. Just double checking is the yes, it is. Okay. Aw. It says fuck me.
So I have to
Yo,
roll initiative
what the fuck?
for each of these idiots separately.
I rolled so high.
You could roll them individually, or you can roll them all in one. With one singular check.
Yeah,
It's completely up to you.
technically, all you have to do is add everyone to the turn counter, and then you can roll all of their initiatives.
Yeah. Also, Jack, you should look in DMs.
Huh? What?
They're so close to done.
Unlike my character, who will never have a feral form. Because Kentna has no experience whatsoever drawing feral animals and will fail at it miserably.
Correct.
Your lack of skill drawing Jolteons shall haunt you this day.
Now, I only see 2 people's scores on there. Did Ron Blade roll for initiative?
That was a
thought I did. Did
perception
I
roll
click the
instead of
wrong one?
initiative. Yeah.
Let me
Here,
do that
just make
again.
me mod, and I'll set up all the rolls for you.
Oh, I can do that just fine. Hold on.
Oh,
Shut the
well,
fuck
I
up,
didn't.
coward! You're supposed to be drawing.
I rolled a 2 instead of a 1. I'll take it, I guess.
Mod me, mod me, mod me.
Hold on. What if I
Shut the
click the
fuck
button?
up, coward! You're supposed to be drawing.
Okay,
Maybe
that
I
did
can
not
figure
do
out.
what I hope. Go ahead.
I'll see if I can figure out how to make you a mod. Not like I don't obviously need all the fucking help I can
Okay,
get.
there you go. I added them all,
Etna, why would you do this?
and then I click on this button. There you go. They all have initiatives now. It is done.
All
Holy
right,
cow, how many of these things are there?
7, but one is fascinated and not really there.
So turn order starts with Aethra. Oh wait, we have to hit the beginning encounter. Anyways.
Aether will move up to this one, and
That one is prone, by the way, so you get. He's flat-footed. Oh,
well, aren't they all flat-footed?
does PF2E do that? Where if you haven't gone yet, you're flat-footed?
Etna.
Yes, I believe so. Let me double check. But I'm pretty sure yes. All rules. The core rule book. Yeah. Scrolling down. Encounter mode. Step 1, roll initiative. Let's see, play around. A round begins when the participants with the highest.
Shouldn't it just be under flat-footed?
I can also try to do that, but give me a moment.
You're distracted or otherwise unable to focus your full attention on defense. You take -2 to AC. Some effects given only to creatures, others specifically. This does not mention it.
Yeah, give me a second.
I'm just gonna roll my attack though.
Alright, make sure
Okay.
you're clicking the one you're attacking. 'Cause I think that'll make it automatically calculate against them.
Okay. Hit 11.
Let me check their ACs. Do not think so, though. No, that did not hit.
Okay. The flat-footed rule is not in 2E.
Okay. She will try to punch again.
Alright.
No.
I see. I see.
The punch misses, but instead of what would have been a critical fail, Etheria feels a slight push as if something else bumped their arm, preventing them from staggering. Namely, the same arm that Plague happened to bite. Forgot to add her into things. I think you still have a action point.
Nope. 1 movement, 2 attacks.
Alright. So, next we are on to
Oh, here we go. End turn.
Rowdy Bandit. The bandit that is taking their turn now. Let me see. That one. will make a sword swing, or rather a stick swing. A closer look shows they are wielding literal metal sticks with metal on them. Not the most intimidating weapon there is.
Oh, like they wrapped wire around the end of a stick to make a crude mace.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm clicking on the right thing before I do a silly. Is it obvious that I only barely know what I'm doing? Because I only doing.
You're fine.
The bandit makes a swing for a Sierra, but screws up really badly. In fact, they trip and throw their mace out of their hand, falling in front of her.
Ooh, free mace. Anyways.
It tries to use the aim point to get back up, but because it no longer has a weapon, then this one, still frightened of Assyria, actually takes a step back.
Oh, they're lining themselves so.
I'm
so
so
well
sad
for
I
all
don't have
time.
attack of opportunity.
Alright, that moves on to end this turn. That's not what I meant to do. I do not want to end the encounter. I want to end that. Bah. Is it obvious I didn't actually expect to get this far? Because I didn't.
That's pretty normal as a DM. It's a surreal experience. Speaking from experience. Katna can speak from experience too.
Speaking of, Katna, how do I switch it to the next enemy's turn?
Oh, just in the encounter area, you just click the little right arrow at where end encounter is. There's the arrow next to it, and you just click that.
Okay.
Anyways,
The next one to act is the one that got logged.
It's log. It's big. It's heavy. It's wood.
Who will run at Aetherium, mostly because this one actually thinks that she's the one who hit him with a log. And makes an attack swing. That was not meant to be out in... Wow. This one also trips while running at her. Flinging
Katna,
their
what the
mace.
fuck are you sharing?
what?
Why are you sharing your phone?
What?
Or is that a
I'm
tablet?
That's my tablet.
I
Sorry,
see.
I was moving the image over so I could at least create a token for a bit.
Okay.
Anyways, top this. There we go. I just wanted them to look cute on the battlefield for posterity. Anyways, continue, Jess.
Anyways, they tripped and yeeted their mace once again. This one rolls to their feet, but that's all they can do for their turn. Thus far, they are not doing terribly good for themselves, are they? Okay, Dayu's up.
Dayu will just say, "Ooh, so I see the action's getting spicy now." Let me double check. My action costs for a couple things. Okay, cool. They will then walk up to over here.
Mm.
And on this particular bandit, will I will with the rapier do a feint. So is against the target's perception DC, which will be 10 plus perception.
It's just flat.
Excellent. Okay.
I will be right
Oh
back
my
while you're
fucking
doing
god!
this.
Wow,
I
that
rolled
was...
so low.
You
Go ahead.
successfully managed to feint this one.
Excellent. And then they will do a sneak attack with the rapier. Which first I need to roll it. Actually, okay. So just so you know, they do have -2 to AC from the feint.
And from frightened.
Yeah. Well, the frightened will already show up on their character sheet. Just the off guard condition will only last until the end of my turn. Okay, just making sure there isn't anything else. There is not. Oh fuck!
Well, roll the damage, because you definitely fucking hit them.
The question is, do I want to oh fuck, sorry. For whatever reason it decided to close my artwork. Anyways, the question is, do I double the precision damage from a sneak attack? I need to check this ruling.
I was gonna say for my own ruling, yes.
Pretty sure the raw is a no, but rule of cool says yes.
Yeah, I'm just double checking something. Fuck, I just realized something. Rogue does make creatures that haven't acted flat-footed, and I'm supposed to be rolling my stealth as my initiative. Anyways, it's okay. I'll remember that later.
I thought you only rolled stealth as your initiative if you were sneaking at the beginning of combat.
I suppose so. There's also deception, which I have a decent number in. It's just stealth is 1 point higher. Anyways, so I will also roll sneak attack damage. There you go.
So,
Sorry, I just realized that's all of their HP in one go.
in a quick flurry of blows, this one is completely struck down. Whether or not it's...
So, all you see that you do is basically do a fainting stab, and then flourish the rapier, and then do another stab right through their heart. Sorry.
This
That's
drops... Oh.
I was
This
just gonna say that works.
Whom crumples to the ground, slain. Anyways, moving to the next turn. That will be...
Leave it to me.
Ronblade.
Yeah. So Ronnie spins his meteor hammer above his head and then strikes the ground, which kicks up some rocks, which burst into flame. Oh, it's not going to let me cast it from my taskbar. There we go. which puts a 10-foot burst. Where are the drawing tools? Should be here.
Where exactly? There.
So they need to make a DC 18 reflex save.
Okay, I'm going to just roll all of them as one because I don't care and you don't either.
No.
They definitely do not make an 18.
All right. They take 5 damage as the flaming rocks strike them, and then they burst into flames. They take 1 persistent fire damage each turn. That was 1 action.
Since it's not automatically doing the numbers, I have give me a moment to do the numbers.
Yeah, do your thing.
However, I will point something out. As you strike down with the hammer onto the wooden floors of the tavern, the burst of flames spreads to several tables. Not only are the kobolds now on fire, the floor is now on fire.
Oh dear, it looks like we're playing a game of the floor is lava. I'm sorry.
Ronnie, seeing this, spends his next 2 actions casting hydraulic push. A jet of water shoots out from him. Let me see. I gotta target one of them.
Well, you're figuring that out, by the way. I just wanted to mention, it's still Pluff, right?
No, it's Plague.
Like, okay, it said you were Pluff, and I got confused.
Yeah, I forgot to fix the thing. Sorry.
Okay. All creatures who make a melee attack against her will also have a -1 because of her captivating tattoos all over her body. Well,
Noted.
her fur markings, but yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
Okay.
This does a lot of damage. Double.
So 16?
Yeah, he takes 16 damage as a wave of water slams into him and tosses him 10 feet backwards.
So, which one in particular? This one?
The one straight in front of him. Sorry,
Okay.
I couldn't figure out how to target.
I see. Gotta make sure I can only attack twice.
That one not only is blasted by water, but they are sent flying across the room and crash into a wall with a sickening crunch. Even from where the party hears, they can hear the bones of that kobold break.
Does the water put the fire out?
The water has cleared some of the fire, but there are multiple tables on fire, and several patrons are now running out of the building, being terrified.
Maybe I went a little overboard. Anyway, that's my turn.
Okay. Moving to the next bandit. Let's see, that is you. Now that the building is starting to catch fire, and seeing several other allies drop, this one will rush to this location and make a melee swing at Dayu. Sorry, my brain sometimes doesn't like to do the smart thing.
Well, you know. As a reaction, I will utilize Nimble Dodge, so I now have a +2 to my AC.
What is your
Which-
AC?
It is now 20. That is a slippery little fiend, aren't they are?
Aethra, seeing that, will just look at all the kobolds. Come on, you pathetic, worthless little cowards. If you all strike me at once, maybe one of you will actually get to hit me.
Okay, first, do ties go to the attacker or defender? I think it's attacker.
Attacker.
Attacker. You have to meet
So-
or exceed.
Yes. So an armor class basically means that is basically the role required to beat you.
Okay, and you have 20. Okay. So that strike miss, it'll make another attack.
Now it's
This
multi-attack penalty.
This one getting pissed off by the threats of Aethera throwing their mace at her. Yeah, it's not exactly the brightest idea. And missing entirely. Okay, moving on, because they did all the things they can do.
Aethra will just say, swing and a miss.
How do I select a target? I'm clicking the select
Yeah, actually,
target
I
thing.
switched these two because I moved the wrong one to do the wrong thing. Either ways, this one also galvanized by the taunt rushes just to make a swing at Aethera, giving the best koboldy roar it can give, which isn't really all that great. What's your AC?
19.
Missing the the first attack entirely, and taking a second swing at her, which also misses, as Aethera barely needs to do anything to avoid the clumsy swings. This bandit is completely fascinated and actually cheering Aethera on.
Arani is going to regret casting that fire
You can
spell
take the
now.
dead ones off the initiative order. Just right click them.
Done.
I would do it if you modded me.
But it's already
Instead
done.
of Ketna purposefully distracting herself so she can never draw my feral form.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think of what I want to do on the arms.
Fire is
Okay.
continuing to
Flames.
spread. And by the way, the kobolds are now panicked and actually trying to get out of the building. This one running here and drawing a small crossbow to shoot at Aethera again. I actually have a rage attack set up for them, but I'm just going to use a melee attack because they don't have any bonuses regardless. And again, care. Which their crossbow bolt misses. Actually, it doesn't so much miss as if it pathetically taps her and falls to the ground. They also take a shot at Ronblade, but similarly, the shot just hits the shoulder, one of their armor. A bit of their armor does nothing, falling to the ground, pointless.
Doink. I'm regretting wasting one of my good spells on these creatures.
Therea does not actually do anything but wave her finger around, causing a small torrent of rain to begin falling inside the cavern to put the fire out. She seems content to watch the party handle this situation. Aethera, it's your turn.
Before
And look,
Aethra strikes, she'll just say, do me a favor and make sure to come back from beyond the grave and tell me what it feels like to be electrocuted to death. She will swing her Foxfire Strike.
This does hit. Roll damage. Also, roll intimidate.
Oh, that's supposed to do 2d4.
Roll an
I
extra
had a
d4.
feeling.
Ronnie from behind. You know,
6.
lass, I can arrange that conversation.
Excellent.
So that one is violently shocked. And the rest are now absolutely terrified.
Would you
The
like
three
to?
Hmm?
Good. I was gonna ask, do you want me to set them to frighten too?
Yes.
Okay. Go on.
The one in front is not only shocked by electricity and unable to move properly due to convulsion, but they are actively looking up at Etheria as if
Aethera.
Aethra.
Aethra.
Aethra
As
is
if-
fine.
they're actively looking up at Aethra as if looking at something horrifying. Aethra also feels a certain presence with her, as the kobold see the shadowy apparition of a massive snake behind her, which leans forward and just says, "Boo." The one at the back just breaks all the rules and runs, just runs and cowers. The others actively throw up their hands and surrender. They're the one that's electrocuted begging for mercy.
Aethra will release the lightning that is balled around her fists. I'm not interested in hunting down surrendering prey. It makes for a poor story.
What are the rules of the Sky Knights? Are they always supposed to accept surrender?
No.
Ah,
So you don't have to accept surrender, especially since they were causing a lot of public harm and attacking a civilian. That is something that will get you walked off a very short plank.
Aethra will just look around. I don't care what the two of you do, but I'm done with this fight. She'll go over and pet her fascinated subject.
Who was just sitting on the ground doing absolutely nothing. Because they weren't fighting, they were not intimidated. It does seem odd the fascination is holding as long as it is. So perhaps it's a little stronger than intended. Suppose that's what happens when you make deals with snake deities.
well, next it
I'm
goes
going-
to Rowdy Bandit in the corner there.
This one is
No,
cowering
this
and
one. Sorry. This one.
This one, despite the others wanting to surrender, does scream and rush at Dayu, trying to make a swing with their weapon, and suspecting that the Sky Knights are just going to kill them anyway.
Well, I was going to take quarter, but
And missing badly. And they attempt again. And still do nothing.
Don't forget, one of them is weaponless.
Yep, that's the one directly in front.
Yeah.
Also, the other one that was weaponless is the one who got blasted by water so hard it basically caved in their body.
yeah, I was not expecting that spell to be so powerful. That was actually kind of funny.
Dayu?
All right. Dayu will just say, I can do you a favor and make this a lot faster.
The kobold that attacked her just curses in Draconic. Several curses that Ron Blade would know are, wow, that's unpleasant words.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
um, and with that, let's see. Gonna roll deception for the faint. It will be at the one that's diagonal from them.
Yep.
Uh, I think the best part about this character is the way that I set them up. They are in fact not good aligned. Anyways. Sorry, there's the button. I just brained for a second. 24.
You definitely faint them.
Alright. So let's hack one.
So wait, the first time I get you to make a fox character, you make them evil?
No, they're neutral, same as Flaga.
Okay.
They just have a bit. Main thing is, and why I mentioned that they're not good aligned, is to say that they're technically speaking, they actually just offered them a faster death than what awaits if they just went for an arrest. Clearly, a very good and thoughtful, wholesome person.
Aethra will just say, just make sure not to hurt this one. They're my pet.
Okay, so 27.
That's actually high enough that it's automatically a crit. They don't have very
Excellent.
good AC.
I noticed. I was double checking that. Okay. So,
That one's dead. Say how you killed it, because that one is very, very dead.
so once again, with the flourish, it taunts away the shield before stabbing them through the throat.
Which quickly leads this one to gag and fall over with a bloody hole in their throat.
At
Falling
which
lifeless
point,
quickly.
Dayu will turn towards the one south of them.
This one has the expression of how they just likely pooped themselves. Though they do raise their mace and shield, intending to defend themselves if attacked.
Dayu just says, I can make it quick like that, or you can go through the prison process and be executed anyways. Choice is yours.
Wait, but that would be good aligned. You're saving them jail time.
Exactly.
Again, this Cobalt screams a curses in Draconic that you do not repeat in even impolite conversation. Implying various things about Dayu's parentage.
Oh, and here I thought they were just gonna say Dio would make a fine rug. Fox.
Oh my god. I mean, look at Dayu. They would make a fine rug. Anyways.
I will make sure if Dayu dies that Aethra skins them and makes them into a fine rug.
What the fuck?
Oh, good gravy.
So Dayu will then, with their free hand, place their palm towards the one south of them, launching a wooden ball at them. Although this will technically, or actually no, they'll just swing towards the shield with the club, so that way. Oh, actually, it wouldn't matter. That's right. There's no strength modifier on them yet. Anyways, yeah, let's go for it. Oh, wait, that's really weird. Oh, I understand. It scales explicitly off of Constitution. So never mind. Actually, I'm going to do a different action because I need to make some adjustments to be able to make that viable.
No,
Uh,
you have a magic mirror for the next 3 weeks.
That I'm aware of. Those adjustments will have to be at different levels, unfortunately, because I want them to have the charisma stuff. Like their build is really good for rogue stuff. So they will suddenly pull out a mote of electrical foxfire and throw it at them.
All right, roll it. That is a hit. Roll damage.
Barely.
So anyway, Plague,
Ah, damn.
this
Yes?
item exists. Enjoy it.
What item?
Uh, something for her eyes only
I see.
until you see it.
Anyways, that will be the end of Dayu's turn.
All right. Let me switch the turns over.
I believe that
Now
would
it's
be Ronnie
Ron
then.
Blade. Yeah.
All right. Seeing the foul-mouthed kobold, Ronnie will cast Hydraulic Push again. Make the reflex save.
Okay.
Or actually, wait, no, that's an attack roll.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's a crit again.
Yeah, that's a crit. You are well over 10 of their AC.
So it's 66.
Double.
It says 66. Roll 3d6 more.
The
24.
preceding hydraulic blast hits that kobold so hard, their body isn't moved. It's just stripped of the flesh on impact.
Also, their flesh is moved away
The-
from their bones.
All right, and then for my final action, Ronnie swings his meteor hammer. Hold a second. That's going to count towards my multiple attack penalty, though, because that was a spell attack. 16.
Is that able to reach from there?
This is a reach weapon.
Oh, yep. So it is.
Yep, and that's a hit.
6 damage. I specifically picked a reach weapon because Ronnie is a bit squishy.
All right. Next turn is. Did not mean to put that there. Because this one's still alive. This one will actually make a mad dash again for Aethera, viewing her as the source of all their problems. Despite the fact of what I just saw, or maybe it's just too afraid of Ron Blade to attack him. Though it's making a much bigger mistake by attacking someone who was going to let them not kill them. And they fail to hit even Aethera while she's off guard. They make a second swing.
And drop their weapon.
And yeet their mace all the way over and into the little man-made lake behind. The charmed kobold just makes a face at them and runs away. Which just leaves them standing there awkwardly as the turn order continues.
So that one moved away and is still cheering things on, apparently.
Yep.
Mark them dead. Sure.
No, that's the exact opposite of what I want to do. This one is over in the corner crying. It refuses to move, and it's just whimpering.
We should probably at least arrest that one.
Cyrea will approach the one that still attacking. Looking at it with some level of disgust, the little creature raises its shield and puffs up its chest, even spreading the small dragon-like wings it has looking at the bat. I hope you've made your peace, his little creature. And instead of going for attack with the sword she has at her hip, she lunges and bites this one. Not quite enough for critical.
Rowdy Bandit gains bloodless condition. Syria gains happy condition.
The bite-
Kobold blood.
The bite actually leaves the creature limp in the bat's grasp, whom actively flies up into the air and drops, leading to a sickening smack on the ground. This is no surprise to Dayu or Ronblade, as while Plague made the captain look very silly, she is known for her lack of mercy more than anything.
I wonder if Plague eats kobolds or if they're too small.
Anyways, that is
Goes to
technically
Aether.
end of combat, because one is charmed and seems indefinitely so. As in, you don't have to maintain your magic, this just seems to be stuck loyal to you. And the other one is in the corner. They're in probably
Did we get a party pet?
Go ahead.
If Aether keeps it, yes.
Sorry, if Aether keeps what?
The kobold that's charmed. It's actually
Sure.
Dayu will then look to Saria and say, as far as the one crying in the corner goes, well, if that obviously they're still going to face the execution thing, which is what I was trying to offer the rest of these. Alternatively, I could go to Plague and ask for a transmutation potion.
Better yet, have them work for Plague.
Alright. The captain crosses her arms. Go offer the remaining one on the amnesty. He to work for the serpent.
Aether rushes to actually do this.
The one that's loyal to Aethria. Wow, brain. You said it right, then you said it fucking wrong. This one just follows along, still completely charmed.
He goes up to the bandit. Listen, I'm going to offer this once, and only once. You are on the verge of death. If the guards get to you, they will execute you. It'll be a miserable amount of time that you have to wait, thinking every single day, wondering how exactly you're going to be killed, knowing that even though you don't know, it is a certainty that it will happen. Conversely, my wonderful friend, Plague, could probably use people working at her shop. So, will you work for one of your betters and possibly get paid, fed, and a second chance at life in general? Or is it the headsman's axe for you? Similarly, I could electrocute you to death.
I'm not even gonna make you roll intimidation for that. Just for how you said, or as the headsman's axe. This one just gets on its knees and starts begging. Oh, they'll do anything. I'll do anything. I got dragged into this mess with my friends. I'm sorry. He'll take any mercy you give. Just don't kill me.
That's the spirit, she says, patting them on the head. Let's take you to your new life.
While that's going on, Dayus begins going and picking up any of the corpses, dragging them out onto the stone.
Aether will
Ron
just
is
lead them
mentioned.
to Plague's shop.
Actually, Aether would find no need, as Plague appears next to them. Hello, Mon. Seems you already be doing me a service.
Well, I like to be a very enthusiastic what's the word for
Patron?
Not
Well,
patron.
well, no, they're the
it's
patron.
you're being a wonderful bearer of me blessing already. She hisses in amusement.
Well, I'm sure this kobold is going to work very, very diligently for you, knowing that you're saving them from death.
The kobold looks up at Plague with eyes going wide. The soul thief. So your kind still be remembering me. Then you be knowing that so long as you keep your words and do what I be saying, be safe. The kobold nods rapidly, then looks at the other one who is still charmed. What happened to them? They be having a change of heart and change of mind. They be following one of my finest new servants, who be their better, and they be learning their place, as you'll be learning soon. And just in that instant, both Plague and the kobold are gone.
In the meantime, after Dai has collected all the bodies, they will actually throw it at an alchemist. Well, actually, they'll take off their armor and weapons and stuff like that, and then throw alchemist fire on the heap of corpses before then conjuring several motes of foxfire and throwing it in.
This
Why
leads
don't
to
you
quite
just toss them off?
Because I'm offering their spirits to the foxfire.
While they're
Interesting.
setting more fires, Ron is going to make sure that the tavern is no longer on fire.
Oh yeah, Dai is making sure that this is in a place that other stuff isn't going to catch fire.
Speaking of the tavern, the owner of the tavern, a silver for half dragon woman, is watching the party with a bewildered expression. What in nine hells did I just witness? I just saw the soul thief take one of me threateners. I just saw you lot absolutely destroy this entire your band. Just who in the nine hells are you people?
You witnessed the transition of some into the afterlife, of one into a new life, and another into worshipping their very own goddess. All of life is transitory if you think about it.
Well, I guess I need to be thanking you for saving me bar, even if you torched a couple of me tables. Certainly less
Yeah,
than
sorry about that.
a few tables. Well, ain't the least of my, ain't even close to the top of me worries.
They were probably going to destroy the tables anyway, so.
So I take that as an acceptable loss. So if you be needing a night's rest, or at least a drink or two, it's on the house.
Ronnie's eyes turn red. He stands up tall. Do ye be having whiskey?
Some of the finest Dragon's Breath whiskey, if you can handle it.
I'll take a double. Neat.
If we're talking about what you can do to make amends to us, I imagine that not mentioning the bit with Plague and as well, forgetting about any problems my friend here might have caused, those would be pretty kind of you.
The Dragon Breath raised their paws. I didn't see any soul stealer, that's for sure. And that little one's with you, far as anyone else needs to know.
I'm glad that we understand each other, and I appreciate you.
Well, if you appreciate me enough, I hope whenever you get back from whatever you're doing, and trust me, there's talk about the town about a group going out, so I'm guessing that's you lot. Coming by me tavern when it's a little less barren would be appreciated. We need in the business.
Well, I'm sure that there'll be tons of business when I bring back songs to sing of heroes, the sort of things that attract people far and wide. You will be booming and bustling with business.
The night captain clears her throat. Any drinks you want to get, we need to take on the road. We do need to reach the port, and I'm more than sure our serpentine friend, the more grumpy one, is not so patiently waiting for us. The little robot dragon chimes in. Oh, don't worry about her. The queen already warned her not to stick her muzzle up her backside. Right with you lot?
Be fair, I'm pretty sure that the kingdom would reimburse you for anything that you ended up selling us. And you need not be too honest about how much it costs.
She looks to the night captain, whom just shrugs. I can't. I have no idea how much anything in your building can cost. So, I'm sure that you can figure out the proper price for things.
He gives
Alright
two
then.
thumbs up to the dragoness.
Alright then, like I said, you want anything to drink or eat for the road, at least let me do that. At least let me make a good set of meals for you to take with you, if you don't mind waiting a little.
Well, I'll take the house special and the finest wines you've got. If it's being paid for by the kingdom, I might as well go a bit over the top. Especially to support local businesses.
Well, considering this is a situation of it that would require some recompense, fair enough. What about the lot of you?
Well, I'll
And
take a whiskey and still with the red eyes and a sandwich. Not too picky about my food.
right then, what about the lot of you? Your usual night captain? Yes, have it ready for the road.
Give me a second. See if there's a specific. Okay, I guess it's just that. Fair fucking enough. Okay. The guy said, "I'll take the usual, 5 all mixed with mead."
Still not
That
sure how
actually
you can
sounds like
be.
it might be good.
Still not sure how you stomach that, but I'll get a couple bottles of that mixed up for you and have it ready for you on the road. Why don't y'all just take a seat and take a few minutes to breathe? Also, you, the lightning-looking one, she points to Athera. What about your little friend there? I imagine you want to get them a treat.
Oh, true. So awesome. Hey, what is your favorite meal? Especially if you didn't have to care about the cost.
The kobold thinks for a moment, fluffing up their more feathery wings. Which this one, I will note, this one stands out slightly from the others, as the others had draconic wings, while this one has feathery ones and feathers instead of scales. Fish. I like lots of fish and rice.
Then let's get the most exotic fish you've got. And rice.
Coming right up. Quite frankly, the two you didn't end up killing were the two who looked the least like they wanted to be here. That feathery one there ain't even armed. She points out that while they have a shield, they're actually unarmed. And the one you gave to your friend, she doesn't mention plague explicitly, looked like they were about ready to keel over the moment this trouble started. I imagine the threat you said, if it sent a shiver up my spine, it's probably ensured that one's not going to have a good night's sleep for the next week. Needless to say, I'm keeping you on me allies' side, not me enemies. So congrats. You were so intimidating, you intimidated the barkeeper. Anyways, that will be it for the session for the moment, because I have to plan out several things, figure out how to actually put a airship on the map so I can actually show you what your bloody ship looks like, and find a map for a few things. But hey, you might get to have some airship combat next session, so look forward to that.
Oh, that'll be
Excellent.
fun.
You'll get to fire cannons and see ships explode. It'll be a good time.
I can shove people with the meteor hammer. So that'll be fun.
I've got alchemist fire. It's called the
What you got?
Hindenburg incident.
All right. I'm probably gonna swap out the fire spirit for something else because I love Earth's Bile, but
Okay.
that was
Let me warn you, you will not always be fighting in highly flammable area. You just got unlucky and hit the wooden floor of the tavern.
it's fine. I wanted to cast that spell since I saw it. Now I have cast it, and I can switch out for a different spirit and get a different focus spell next time. I want to try them all. So
Alright.
All right, everyone. We are going to be rating out. I really hope you enjoyed the content. There's more to come. Every coming Friday, this channel has only gotten more Pathfinder focused. Love you all. Stay wonderful. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista. Hope you enjoyed
Hasta la
my
vista.
DMing.
that was really fun, by the way.
And just so you know, Jess, something I've decided with Dayu